The school bully slaps my class queen girlfriend on the butt, right in front of the entire class. I do not lift a finger. I simply turn around and walk away. But my girlfriend runs after me, calling me a coward. Facing her accusations, I just let out a careless smile. Two-faced girl, did you think this is still your last life? In my previous life, I charged in without thinking and beat that bully to a pulp. To my shock, she went around telling everyone that I was nothing but a simp, and she even teamed up with the bully to file a vicious complaint against me in front of the teachers. I ended up not only with a disciplinary record but also losing the most important turning point of my life, the Gaokao. The most laughable part? After high school graduation, she actually started dating the bully, and the two of them got married. But now that I have been reborn, why on earth would I wreck my reputation and my future for someone like you? Right now, inside the teacher's office, listening to the two of them spin their stories, I actually find the whole thing hilarious. In my last life, I tried so hard to argue back, yet every attempt failed. At first, I could not understand why the teacher refused to believe me. Only later did I figure out that from the very beginning, this so-called questioning was just a formality. Brad Stone is the dean's son, and the homeroom teacher obviously knew that. So no matter how much I explained, it would not change a thing. The other side would never be punished, and Jessica Lane was never on my side. Alright, the two of you can head back first. After getting Jessica's answer, Mr. Sullivan nods immediately. Ethan Walker, what am I supposed to do with you? Your grades are not bad. How can you drop the ball at a critical moment like senior year? Even if you have feelings for Jessica Lane, you can wait until after graduation to pursue her. Hitting people like that is wrong. Do you understand? Your punishment has already been decided. You will write a 1,500-word self-reflection and your discipline will be announced to the entire school. There are only a little over 100 days left until the Gaokao. Do you really want to ruin your life over something like this? Keeping my face completely blank, I simply reply, no. Hearing that, Mr. Sullivan's temper instantly flares up. He widens his eyes and says, what did you just say? You are refusing? Do you have any idea how serious your mistake is? Fighting is wrong to begin with, and at this critical moment before the Gaokao, the fact that the other family did not press charges is already a mercy. And let me tell you, whether you write the self-reflection or not, the punishment is still happening. If you refuse to admit your mistake, then I have no choice but to call in your parents. At this moment, I simply smile. The homeroom teacher then opens the student-parent contact records on his computer, finds my mother's number and dials it directly. Honestly, I really do not care. Compared to all the suffering I endured in my last life, even failing the Gaokao and truly letting my parents down, nothing can hold me back anymore. No matter what you say, I'm not writing any self-reflection, same words as before. I did nothing wrong. As for the truth, teacher, you know it better than anyone. Punish me however you like, I do not care. With that, I turn around and walk straight out of the office. Are you kidding me? I am a reborn soul, why would I fear someone like you? Now that I have been reborn into senior year, I will never bow my head and admit fault again. Back then, when I failed the Gaokao and lost my place, the blow was devastating. All those exam questions are still crystal clear in my mind. I swear I am going to take back every piece of glory that belongs to me. When I return to the classroom, the whole class is buzzing. How did it go? How did it go? A few of my closer classmates crowd around me, all asking what happened. I just laugh and reply, what else? They want me to write a self-reflection, apologize, and have my punishment announced school-wide. But I already told the teacher, I am not writing anything. I sit down, pull out my textbooks, and get ready to study seriously, to lock in what I know. Beside me, Kevin Park gives me a thumbs up and grins. Badass. You said no to the self-reflection, what did the teacher say? I shrug with a careless tone. He's calling my parents. But Jessica Lane, hearing that, suddenly tenses up. She walks straight over, grabs my arm, and pulls me out into the hallway. Jessica starts pleading anxiously. How can you refuse the teacher's request? If you do not write the self-reflection, what if this blows up? I know you are angry that I lied. I am sorry. I really did not want to do it, but think about it. Would you rather both of us get punished, or just you alone? Do you want me to be punished too? Is that what would make you happy? Jessica puts on her most pitiful, begging look, hoping to convince me to take the fall for her. In my last life, it was exactly because of her sweet talk that I ended up bearing everything alone, becoming a complete fool from start to finish. But this time, how could I possibly make the same mistake? What if I still refuse? And besides, did you not say you do not like Brad Stone? Why are you still helping him? Jessica rushes to explain. I am not helping him. I just do not want things to get too complicated. If you do not want to write the self-reflection, I can write it for you. Just admit your mistake to the teacher, and this whole thing will be over. Do we really have to drag everyone's parents into it? Jessica clings to me, her eyes full of pleading. She begs pitifully, please, I really do not want my parents to find out. Help me out, and I will agree to anything you want. I smile and play along. Agree to what? Jessica bites her lip and mumbles. You like me, right? I can give you a chance to chase me. I burst out laughing. Sorry, you can save that chance for someone else. With that, I turn around and walk back into the classroom. I was blind in my last life, but does that mean I have to be blind in this one too? Besides, if I am going to chase someone, I am going to chase my real dream girl. Who would pick a fake princess like you? Suddenly my eyes light up. Right around now, that girl should still be over at the neighboring school being bullied. Not long after, the homeroom teacher calls me back to his office. Seeing Mom there, her expression complicated, it is clear she never expected her own child to get into a fight over puppy love. After all, for as long as anyone could remember, I had always been that obedient, well-behaved kid with consistently excellent grades. I have already told your mother about what happened. You can explain the rest to her yourself. Mom, Mrs. Walker lets out a sigh. pulls her son into a corner of the office, and starts asking questions. Mom, here's what really happened. I lean close to her ear and quietly explain everything, and finally pull out my phone to show her the text message Jessica had sent me. Mom is furious. After all this, it turns out her son has been wrongly accused. Mrs. Walker says angrily, "How can a girl lie like this?" Mom immediately holds up the phone in front of Mr. Sullivan and pushes back. My son really is not lying about this. He did not just go over because he saw something on social media. This girl told him herself that she was being harassed, and my son only stepped in because he could not stand to watch. Mr. Sullivan widens his eyes too, clearly not expecting this kind of chat record, but he grits his teeth and says, "Yes, lying is wrong, but the fact remains that Ethan Walker hit someone, and the one he hit is an athletic track student. If that boy injures his hands or feet, won't it ruin his exams?" Then Mr. Sullivan turns to lecture me again. "Ethan Walker, all I am asking is for you to reflect on the fact that you hit someone. No matter what, you cannot just hit people, right? Jessica Lane lied, and of course the teacher will discipline her for that. Setting all that aside, you are still in the wrong, are you not?" I smile and reply, "Ha ha ha, setting all that aside, you are really something. Who would have thought a teacher could say something like that? Teacher, setting aside the facts, could I also be the Emperor of China? They were the ones in the wrong, so why am I the only one being punished? How about all three of us get disciplined together? All announced together, I really do not care." Mr. Sullivan is furious. "Look at this kid. He made a mistake and shows zero willingness to admit it, and now he dares to talk back to me. The way I see it, a 1,500-word reflection is not enough. You will write at least a 3,000-word reflection, with school-wide criticism. You show no remorse at all." I smile back at him. "Teacher, Brad Stone is definitely not getting a school-wide announcement, right? Are you sure you deserve to be a teacher?" Hearing that, the homeroom teacher shoots straight up to his feet and roars, "Ethan Walker, you are insulting your teacher now, are you? Look at this." Mr. Sullivan turns to the parent beside him and complains, "You can see for yourself, look at the attitude this kid has. I am not handling this anymore. Take it straight to the dean's office." "What good will going to the dean's office do? Do you think I do not know? Brad Stone is the dean's own son. Is he really going to let his own son take the fall?" Those words blow the whole thing wide open. Half an hour later, inside the dean's office, Dean Hall puts on a stern face and says, "I have heard everything you said in the homeroom teacher's office. You must be Ethan Walker's parent. Forget about who is right or wrong for now. Let us just talk about attitude." He talked back to the teacher, and his homeroom teacher was so angry his heart started acting up. "Is this acceptable? You also said something about me letting my son off easy. My son gets the same scolding when he makes a mistake, same yelling, same beating. I will give that brat a thrashing the moment I get home. But let me make this clear. Ethan Walker has to apologize to the teacher, and he has to read out a 3,000-word reflection in front of the whole school. His behavior has crossed the line. If he cannot recognize his mistake, if he cannot change his ways, then our school cannot keep teaching him." Hearing that last line, Mom, Mrs. Walker, instantly grows worried. "Dean, what do you mean by that? Are you going to expel my son? He is in his senior year." Dean Hall sits there and snaps back. "Look at him. He does not even respect his teachers. He even said the teacher does not deserve to be a teacher. How are we supposed to teach a student like that? It is not that we do not want to. We genuinely cannot." Mrs. Walker tries to explain. "I know my son can be stubborn, but..." Before she can finish, I blurt out, "Mom, this is no big deal. If it comes to it, I will just transfer schools. I am sick of first high anyway. Second high next door looks pretty good." Dean Hall is on the verge of bursting. He cannot help pointing at me. Look at this, Ethan Walker's mother. I am giving him one final chance. Either he writes a serious self-reflection, or he drops out." I smile. I do not even want to attend this lousy first high anymore. Once word gets out, the whole class is in an uproar. "Are you insane? Transferring now? What about your Gaokao? Just write the reflection and admit fault if you have to." A few of my closer classmates come over one by one to try and talk me out of it. After all, the Gaokao is the exam that decides the rest of your life. The homeroom teacher just told me, if you are willing to write the 3,000-word reflection, accept the punishment, and apologize to her, this whole thing will be dropped. Otherwise, our class will not even have chemistry class anymore. Cindy Lloyd says with frustration. "Exactly, you got yourself disciplined for fighting, fine. But why drag the rest of us down with you? Can you not just apologize? Why should the whole class lose class time because of you?" Jessica Lane already said the teacher was not even mad anymore, but you just had to argue with him. "And do you not realize you are dragging Jessica into trouble too? It is not enough that you get punished alone, now Jessica is being told to bring her parents in. Are you satisfied now? Look, Jessica is crying. She says her parents are already on their way to the school. Are you even a man? How can you make a girl cry like this?" At that exact moment, the whole room suddenly falls silent. Vice Principal Grant clears his throat twice and then says, "Who is Ethan Walker? Step outside for a minute." All of my classmates glance at me with mixed expressions, and I head out into the hallway to speak privately with Vice Principal Grant. I assume he wants a friendly conversation, but instead I get a full-blown lecture. He says even if a teacher wrongs you, you still cannot speak ill of the teacher, asking if I think I am special just because I have a few decent grades. Then he raises his voice angrily. "First High does not need a student like you. If you do not want to study here, then leave." With a blank face, I simply reply, "Fine." Vice Principal Grant is so furious he can barely catch his breath. This is genuinely the first time he has ever met a student this insolent, so he just snaps, "Drop out then." At that moment, Jessica's parents finally arrive, but the first thing they do is not to lecture their daughter. Instead, they immediately distance her from any blame and with stern faces point straight at me. Who do you think you are, accusing our daughter of lying? Teacher, the way I see it, this kid needs to be moved out of the class. He absolutely cannot stay in the same class as our Jessica. He is going to keep harassing her. When my mom hears this, anger surges up in her, and just as she is about to fire back, I cut in. I am dropping out. Mom, do not worry. My grades will only get better once I leave. At that moment, the physics teacher, Ms. Quinn, sighs beside us. Oh, there was a physics Olympiad next month, and I was planning to recommend you for it. This competition is a great opportunity. With your level, if you can place, you might even earn Gaokao bonus points. There is only one slot per class, and if you drop out, that slot will have to go to. Mrs. Lane jumps in shamelessly with a smile. Teacher, that competition can earn Gaokao bonus points? What about our Jessica? Why not let her give it a try? Ms. Quinn gives an awkward smile. Well, her physics grades are only average. 2 days later, I bring my withdrawal form to the homeroom teacher for his signature. You really have ruined your own future. Mr. Sullivan cannot hold back. I have never seen a student like you. Your grades were not even bad. I was going to sign you up for the chemistry Olympiad. Look at yourself now. I reply casually. Teacher, if you apologize to me right now, I might consider staying to help you compete in the chemistry Olympiad. If I win, I can even put your name on the award. Mr. Sullivan's face turns dark instantly. Out, get out. He immediately signs the withdrawal form. Take this to the dean's office for the dean's signature, then submit it to the principal's office. A few moments later, I arrive at the dean's office. Dropping out, are you? The dean signs the withdrawal form, and after signing it, he throws in a few mocking remarks. Finally, I make my way to the principal's office, this time meeting with the actual principal. I take a deep breath and say, Hello, principal, I am Ethan Walker. I am applying for withdrawal. Could you please sign? I hand him the application form. Principal Lewis frowns and glances at the reason listed on the form. Conflict with teachers, unable to continue studies, requesting withdrawal. So you are that student who talked back to the teacher? What a shame. Principal Lewis really does feel it is a shame, losing a student with such good grades just like that. But a student who fights, who talks back to teachers, who does not even respect the dean really cannot be kept. The corner of my mouth lifts slightly, and an idea suddenly flashes in my mind. Principal, I hear First High is applying to become a provincial key demonstration school. If you need me, all you have to do is have the homeroom teacher and the dean apologize to me, and I might just reconsider. At this point, Principal Lewis rolls his eyes at me. This is genuinely the first time anyone has dared to make a demand like this to him. The audacity is unreal. Get out. No respect talking back to teachers, and now demanding apologies. He signs the withdrawal form on the spot. Back in the classroom, as I pack up my things to leave, my deskmate Kevin Parks sighs with feeling. Done for. Now I have nobody to copy homework from anymore. I roll my eyes and laugh curse at him. All you ever think about is copying homework. Can you not just study yourself? Kevin explains. I am hopeless at studying, but I cannot even fail properly. What can I do? I remember in my last life, Kevin was one of the few classmates I stayed close with. Even after I bombed the Gaokao, the two of us happened to end up at university in the same city. It was Kevin who told me about Jessica dating Brad Stone. Not long after graduation, news came out that the two of them were getting married. Both sides invited a lot of high school classmates to attend, and in the end, I was the only clown in the show. Even now when I think about it, it feels absurd and laughable. At this moment, Kevin sneaks a glance at Jessica in the distance and whispers a complaint. I heard Jessica's mom even came to the class to talk to the other students, telling everyone to keep an eye out so you would not harass Jessica anymore. I just laugh and reply, whatever, I am transferring anyway. Finally, the dismissal bell rings, and everyone starts packing up. I am about to leave this school for good. I turn around and walk out of the classroom door when someone calls out, Hey! Jessica hesitates. I never meant to hurt you. Watching me end up dropping out, her conscience seems to bother her just a little. I turn around, look straight at Jessica, and say with a blank face, honestly, when you lied to the teacher, I really was angry. I never imagined you were this kind of person. Jessica looks like she wants to cry, pleading, No, how could I possibly hurt you on purpose? Looking at the girl in front of me, my heart no longer holds any of the old affection. Her explanations are just cover-ups. She is just not a good person at her core. I cannot help but spit out, You really are pathetic, actually ending up with Brad Stone. Let us unfriend each other. With that, I turn and walk away. These words have been bottled up inside me for so long. Even on the day of their wedding, I had imagined cursing them out countless times, but it was always just imagination. I never thought I would actually get the chance to say it. Getting reborn really does feel damn good. I am never living suffocated again. After getting home, the first thing I do is open my computer, log into the First High online forum and find my own post. I am terribly sorry. Due to personal reasons, Campus Dropout will be temporarily on hiatus. During these past few days since being reborn, I have been using my free time to post a serial novel on the school forum. It started as just a bit of fun, to see if I had any talent for writing. Yet I never expected the transfer to come so suddenly. Since I am leaving First High, there is no need to keep updating on the forum, so I posted that apology to my readers. After seeing the hiatus notice, a flood of fan comments appears under the post. Why is it on hiatus all of a sudden? Please come back soon. I look at all these comments and smile. So I do have a bit of talent after all. In the blink of an eye, Monday arrives, and I successfully transfer from First High to Second High. While Second High's teaching staff is comparable to First High's, their college admission rate is a touch lower. From the driver's seat, you really know how to make trouble. You scared your grandfather half to death. Good thing Second High agreed to take you, or I would break your legs. In no time the car pulls up at the Second High gate. Because my grades are decent, the transfer paperwork is done in no time, and my class is assigned. Senior Class 4 is Second High's top science class, and the homeroom teacher Miss Lambert is the English teacher. The dean takes me to Ms. Lambert and gives her a rundown of my glorious history before turning around and leaving. I, on the other hand, make a small request. Teacher, can I sit next to Mia Bell? Ms. Lambert pauses for a moment. Mia Bell, you know her. An old classmate of mine knows her. Ms. Lambert smiles and says, all right. Talking as we go, we reach the classroom door, where the math teacher is having students work on a test. He gives a polite nod, then leads me into the room and smiles at the students. Let me introduce a new transfer student to everyone. After that, Ms. Lambert lets me step forward and introduce myself. Hello everyone, my name is Ethan Walker. My grades are average, but I have excellent character, and I never fight. Standing beside me, the homeroom teacher almost bursts out laughing. She then says, from now on, Ethan Walker will be transferring into our class, and for now he will sit next to Mia Bell. The moment the words leave her mouth, a girl wearing glasses, looking dazed, lifts her head and glances at me. This is actually my first time seeing Mia Bell, but I can tell right away that she is timid and reserved. She is the kind of girl in class who does not really socialize, and might even get picked on by the others. Girls like her usually keep an extremely low profile, barely registering on anyone's radar. But after graduation, when everyone looks back, they realize how badly they misjudged her. Many classmates from the same year, even classmates from her own class, are blown away by the news. Even I, a First High graduate, heard plenty of stories about her, which shows just how famous Mia Bell becomes later. I walk over to her on my own and start moving my desk and chair next to Mia Bell. After I sit down, the math teacher hands me a copy of the test as well. You can take a shot at this too, we will go over it tomorrow. Alright teacher. Nobody expects that the moment the bell rings for break, I, the new transfer student, become an animal at the zoo for everyone to gawk at. Even students from the next class come into the hallway to watch the show, pointing and whispering, is that him? I just asked my cousin from First High. I heard he got in a fight with an athletic track student, then talked back to the teachers, and ended up having to drop out. No, I heard it was because he was chasing some girl that he got into the fight, and the girl did not even like him. Haha, that is hilarious. So he is just a simp? I never imagined that even. After transferring schools, the fight caused by Jessica Lane would still leave me carrying the label of a simp. The physics class representative Eric Walsh comes over to greet me. Hey, you are the one who dropped out of First High after a fight? Hardcore. A pretty girl walks over. Luna Knight smiles and says, Eric Walsh, you do not know the half of it. He went after a First High girl and got into a fight with an athletic track student over it. They say that athletic kid is the dean's son, which is why he had to drop out. By the way, I actually know Jessica Lane. I look at this new classmate with some surprise. You know Jessica Lane? Jessica and I went to elementary school together. I purse my lips. Then this transfer was a waste. No wonder the moment I show up from First High, before my seat is even warm, my whole backstory is exposed. Luna blinks her eyes and suddenly asks expectantly, how about you give up on Jessica Lane and try chasing me instead? The classmates around her burst into laughter. Don't you already have Jason Pierce? Luna laughs back. I never agreed to anything with Jason Pierce. Besides, I like top students. He was top 10 in his entire grade at First High. He will definitely be top 3 here. And I think he is funny too. He is clearly a top student, but in his self-introduction he said his grades were average. He clearly dropped out for fighting, but he says he never fights. Luna looks at me with full anticipation. What do you say, or how about I chase you instead? I feel like you are my type, and unlike Jessica Lane, if someone fought for me I would honestly cry from happiness. I size Luna up carefully. To be fair, among high school students she really is quite a pretty girl, and once she gets to college and dresses up a little, she will definitely be class queen material. But just at this moment, a voice suddenly cuts in. He is just a simp, the girl does not even like him, yet he goes off and fights for someone, gets himself disciplined and forced to drop out. How dumb is that? Jason Pierce shoots me a look with a warning expression. You had better stay away from Luna Knight. With that he heads out with a group of classmates, basketballs in hand. If this had been my last life, I might actually have been intimidated by his big shot warning. After all, he carries himself like a delinquent, the kind you do not want to mess with. But now, looking at students who try to act tough, I just find it absurd. Honestly, the kids who acted the toughest back in school, when you look them up after graduation, you discover that they are really nothing special. And the prettiest girls usually end up divorced with kids, or married off to some rich older man. Thinking of all this, I glance over at Mia Bell, sitting quietly beside me with her head down doing homework. My adorably clueless little rich girl is still the best. I lean onto the desk and ask her tentatively, what about you? Do you know who I am? Mia Bell freezes for a second, then shakes her head. Good, then let us start over. I am Ethan Walker. Mia looks at this new transfer student a bit nervously, then glances toward the door where Jason Pierce just left. Do you actually fight? No, I do not. They are making things up. Then be careful. Why? Mia speaks up, sounding a little worried. Because Jason Pierce might hit you. I pause for a moment. Jason Pierce is the one who just talked to me? Mia warns me very seriously. I mean it, because Jason Pierce likes Luna Knight. I reply unhurriedly. It is fine. It will not come to that. Do you have a boyfriend? The sudden question makes Mia freeze. She stares wide-eyed at the new transfer, then shakes her head. My eyes light up and I press on. Then how about me? Do you want to be with me? Mia jumps in shock, her face and ears turning bright red. Stammering nervously, she says, I Well, there is a question I cannot solve. Let me go ask the teacher. Then Mia picks up a math test and walks out of the classroom. With a personality like Mia's, she probably has never been confessed to before, let alone encountered someone as direct as me. She must be terrified. For some reason I find myself feeling especially excited. Maybe life at second high really will be a lot of fun. Not until the next period bell rings does Mia nervously return to the classroom. She does not even dare lift her head, just clutches the test paper and heads straight back to her seat. Clearly, from the confession-like words earlier, she is both nervous and shy, with absolutely no idea how to respond. The English teacher then walks into the classroom, looks up at me and says with a serious expression, "I just heard that some people have been gossiping about the new student. I do not care what happened before, but once you join our class you are one of us. I do not want anyone talking about classmates behind their backs. All right, I will pass out the tests. Today we are doing reading comprehension and I will go over it once you are done." Clearly Ms. Lambert has caught wind of some of the rumors about my transfer, so she takes the moment in class to call those people out. During the lesson I make a delightful discovery. My English level completely crushes that of the average high schooler. Even though I bombed the Gaokao back then, I still passed the college English test band 6 in university. So whether it is vocabulary, grammar structures, writing, or reading comprehension, I am leagues above an ordinary high schooler. I finished the entire reading test with only one wrong answer. In my last life, I underperformed and only scored 112 in English. If I had performed normally, I could have scored around 125. But in this life, I feel confident I can score above 140. After all, I have two natural advantages. First, in college I prepared for English certification exams and graduate school entrance exams, grinding through and memorizing countless vocabulary words. Second, I even know the actual Gaokao questions. Up at the podium, English teacher Ms. Lambert speaks up. "All right, we have gone over the answers. Out of 20 questions, anyone who got 5 or fewer wrong, raise your hand." In a flash, quite a few students raised their hands. I scan the room. A class of 48 people, and 8 have their hands up, meaning these students got only 5 wrong. It seems the level of this top class really is not that far off from first high. 4 or fewer wrong. The moment she says this, 3 people lower their hands, leaving only 5 hands still raised. These are the top English students in the class. To my surprise, the girl who flirted with me earlier, Luna Knight, also has her hand up. Her English really is quite good. 3 or fewer wrong. Of the remaining 5, only 1 person raises their hand. Ms. Lambert smiles. "Luna Knight, how many did you miss?" "Teacher, I got 2 wrong." Ms. Lambert nods with a smile. "Not bad. This test was quite challenging. All the questions are pulled from previous year's Gaokao papers." Then Ms. Lambert glances at me again and asks curiously, "Ethan Walker, your English should not be bad. How many did you miss?" The moment she asks, every set of eyes in the room turns to me, waiting for my answer. Thinking I should keep a low profile as the new student, I casually reply, "Teacher, I got quite a few wrong. I did not do well." "It is fine, your deskmate. Mia Bell's English is solid. Feel free to ask her about anything you do not understand." My eyes light up. "Wonderful. There is so much I do not understand." Mia immediately tenses up and says guiltily, "Teacher, I am not really good at teaching others." Clearly I scared her earlier. She does not even dare look in my direction now. Luna Knight then jumps in with a smile. "I can do it, teacher. I am the English class representative. I can tutor the new student." After saying that, Luna winks at me with what she clearly thinks is a charming smile. I smile back and say, "No need, Mia Bell teaching me will be just fine." At that moment, Jason Pierce slouches in his seat and drawls, and he calls himself a top student. Nothing special after all. Anyone who gets more than 5 wrong on this test is probably scoring below 120. I thought top 10 in first high was supposed to be impressive. Luna rolls her eyes at Jason in exasperation. He is obviously targeting the new student. He is talking about overall ranking, not a single subject. Maybe his math is great, just like you have your strong subjects too. All right, first high is first high and second high is second high. Second high is in no way inferior to other schools, so do not put yourselves down. Speaking of which, that reminds me, next week there is an English speaking contest. Each class gets 3 spots, so come to me if you want to sign up. This contest is district-wide, and registration requires going beyond the high school vocabulary level. It tests students' extracurricular learning. Placing in the contest comes with a certificate, a prize, and a chance to bring honor to second high. Hearing this, I suddenly perk up and shoot up my hand. "Teacher, I want to sign up." Jason Pierce mocks. "Only 3 spots per class and you cannot even beat your own classmates. How are you going to compete with the whole district?" "Teacher, giving him a spot would be unfair to the other students." I laugh. "Why does it feel like you are targeting me?" "Classmate, I am not targeting you. I just mean there are only 3 spots, so selection is necessary, and the teacher just said it is about bringing honor to second high, so we should pick the best." Ms. Lambert smiles. "Let us do this. Let us first see how many sign up. If only 3 apply, no competition is needed. If more apply, we will hold a selection." With that, the matter is settled. As Ms. Lambert is about to leave, she walks over to me on purpose and says, "Let me take a look at your test." Probably because I am a transfer student, Ms. Lambert is not entirely sure about my English level. She wants to see how I actually performed and how she might help me improve later. I pause for a moment, then reply, "Right here, teacher. Just remember to pick me for the speaking contest. I am really good." Ms. Lambert smiles. "We will see." But the next second, as Ms. Lambert flips through the test, she freezes. The entire paper is correct, with only a single multiple-choice question wrong. "Did you not say you got a lot wrong? How is it that you only have 1 mistake?" The moment she says this, every student in the class snaps wide-eyed, turning to stare at me. With a sincere face, I sigh. Teacher, getting even one wrong is already unacceptable to me. Anything less than a perfect score is a failure. All at once, the entire class explodes. English class rep Luna Knight covers her mouth in excitement. That is incredible. A real first high top student. Jason Pierce's mouth twitches as he glances at his own test, gritting his teeth. Show off. Ms. Lambert cannot help but smile at me. You really are something, asking you to raise your hand and you do not. Well done, keep it up. After seeing my test, her mind is at ease. The dean's office had told her I was a top-ranking student to begin with, but earlier she actually thought my English might be slightly weaker, with my other subjects being a bit stronger. Now it is clear that, at the very least, my English is also outstanding. The moment I put my English test away, I hear a girl behind me complaining, "Why did it go on hiatus?" Luna Knight, that first high forum novel you recommended last time has stopped updating. Two girls instantly cluster around Luna and start chatting. Even Mia Bell pulls out her phone, opens the forum, and sees the hiatus notice for herself. I ask curiously, "You read it too?" Mia bites her lip and nods carefully. "How is it? Is it good?" Mia nods again. "It is good." I let out a deeply satisfied smile. Actually, I feel it is only so-so. But the moment I say this, the classmate sitting in front, Sophie Jenkins, overhears me. Sophie turns around and looks at this top student transfer from First High, asking curiously, "Did you not come from First High? Do you know who wrote this novel?" I respond with surprise, "You know about it too? Are all of you reading it?" Mia quietly answers, "Mr. Ross recommended it." "Mr. Ross?" Sophie explains, "He is our Chinese teacher. I think it was the day before yesterday or the day before that when he was teaching. He mentioned in passing that there is an interesting novel on the First High forum. We got curious and went to read it, and it really is quite good. First High really is full of talented people. You have someone who can even write a novel like that." Only now do I suddenly understand. No wonder. I was wondering how my novel got so many readers. It turns out a teacher gave it a boost. The corner of my mouth lifts slightly. It looks like I should ask my Chinese teacher for his opinion later, and if everything is fine, I will submit my work online and become a contracted author. At this moment, Luna Knight suddenly calls out loudly, "Hey, new student Ethan Walker, do you know the person who writes that novel on the First High forum?" Suddenly, every gaze in the room lands on me. They are all clearly curious. After all, as a top 10 student at First High, I just might know him. I smile slightly. Yes, I know him. The moment the words leave my mouth, many of my classmates get excited. I feel like if they made a TV drama out of it, it would definitely blow up. I have never read this type of novel before. The author is so talented. I deliberately keep them in suspense, then say with a smile, "It is not that big of a deal. I will ask him later when he plans to come back from hiatus." Facing this whole crowd of book fans, for the first time I truly feel the appeal of being a novelist. I even glance on purpose at my adorably clueless little rich girl deskmate, and find Mia also looking at me like a curious little kid. I will get the answer and let you all know. The crowd lets out a sigh and disperses, though this counts as good news. Just then the bell rings, and this period happens to be Chinese class. Mr. Ross then walks into the classroom. "Where is the new student?" "Right here." I immediately raise my hand. Mr. Ross nods. "I have looked at your First High transcripts a few times. I remember them. Chinese is your weak subject, right?" "Yes, teacher. Honestly, Chinese is my worst subject, mainly because my classical Chinese is weak. And I am not great at reading comprehension either. Out of all the subjects on the Gaokao, Chinese was the only one where I performed at my normal level, but even then, only 114 points. While the teacher is in the middle of his lesson, I turn to my deskmate and tease, "Miss Bell, your handwriting is really pretty. Neat, elegant, refined, just like a woman's. I bet you look really pretty without your glasses." Mia shyly bites her lip. She has no experience being pursued by boys. This is her very first time, and she has no idea how to handle it. She just keeps her head down and pretends not to hear. Watching Mia stay quiet and focused on her work, I do not have the heart to bother her any further. I take out my phone and start writing the novel. At last the bell rings for the end of class. Mr. Ross steps down, looks down at me and my phone, and his face immediately darkens. "You have been on your phone the whole time? An entire period?" The classmates around me suddenly take on a watching the show expression. The one sitting nearby actually saw it the whole time. The first high top student was on his phone throughout the entire class, and sure enough, he got caught. I nod. "I do not really like Chinese class." Mr. Ross says with a stern face, "Step outside." The classroom instantly erupts into chatter, with people saying all sorts of things. Out in the hallway, Mr. Ross keeps his stern face. "Why are you playing on your phone? You yourself said Chinese is your weak subject. Do you not want to make up for it?" I press my lips together and smile. "Teacher, actually Chinese is not really my weak subject. I did it on purpose. I would like to make a request that you let me write something during your class from now on." Mr. Ross frowns. "Write something? What do you mean?" I hand him my phone. He glances at the screen and immediately freezes. "Is this not— Wait, this is the next part of the plot. Teacher, that novel on the First High forum is actually written by me. I was writing the next chapter just now." Mr. Ross is stunned. "You wrote it?" This, looking carefully, the account on my phone really is the one that posts the novel. "It really is you?" Mr. Ross sucks in a sharp breath. He genuinely never saw this coming. His expression instantly shifts from stern criticism to one of admiration and praise. After all, he himself enjoys this novel, otherwise he would not have recommended it in class. Mr. Ross smiles and says, "Even so, this is not okay. Yes, you wrote the novel, and yes, it is well written, but you still need to attend class. Your Gaokao score matters too." I start to explain. "Actually, my Chinese is strong. I guarantee a Gaokao score of 140 or higher. Trust me, teacher, I would not joke about my own future. Mr. Ross frowns and mutters, still no, unless you can get first place in the entire school on Friday's 4-school joint mock exam, then I might consider it. Total score first or Chinese first? Chinese first, of course. You said you can guarantee 140 on the Gaokao. Forget 140, even 135 would be enough. Hearing this, I agree almost without thinking. Then it is settled. If I get first place in Chinese on the 4-school joint mock exam, then you let me write my novel during class. Mr. Ross asks tentatively, you are confident? I grin from ear to ear. Confident, absolutely. The 4-school joint mock exam is actually the joint test between First High, Second High, Experimental High, and Washi High, the 4 high schools all using the same exam paper, because in L City these are the 4 schools with the best college admission rates. Among them, First High and Washi are the top tier, with Second High slightly behind and Experimental High at the bottom. Although the joint exam scores do not represent the actual Gaokao, the rankings do carry significant reference value. Based on the joint exam rankings from past years, the top scorers in the joint exam are usually the seed candidates for top-tier universities in the Gaokao. Mr. Ross asks one more question with curiosity. Your novel really is quite good. You should consider signing up for the new concept writing competition. My eyes light up. That is the national writing competition held by Sprout Literature magazine, right? Mr. Ross nods. That is the one. Want to give it a try? I heard a few First High students have signed up and they are getting one-on-one coaching. At our school meeting last week, the leadership brought it up. Originally, we were not going to participate because the national contest is too tough and our school does not have much chance of placing. But I think you should try. The corner of my mouth lifts as I ask, would this help our school's bid to become a provincial key demonstration school? Mr. Ross looks slightly surprised, not expecting this kid to know about that. Of course it would. If you place, Second High's reputation will be made. Done. Sign me up. Mr. Ross laughs. You really are something. Then I will wait for your joint exam result. Go on back. Alright, when is the novel updating? Tomorrow. I should be able to release one chapter tomorrow. When I get back to the classroom, I am immediately surrounded by a few nosy classmates. How did it go? What did Mr. Ross say to you? Just as I sit down, before my seat is even warm, Mr. Ross suddenly returns to the classroom. There is one more thing I forgot to mention. The 4-school joint mock exam this Friday has a new rule. You will not be taking the exam in your own classroom. Students will be reshuffled into other classrooms. Ethan Walker, that is not a problem, right? After he says this, quite a few people glance at me with surprise, not understanding why he singled me out. I nod and smile. Understood, teacher. The moment he leaves, Sophie Jenkins in front of me turns around and asks, what does that mean? Why did the teacher ask if you were okay with it? I shrug with a smile. Nothing really. I told the teacher to leave me alone in class and he said I have to score first place in Chinese on the 4-school joint mock exam, and I agreed. The moment I say this, Sophie's eyes widen with excitement. Oh my god, first place in the whole school? Are you serious? Even Mia Belfries is staring blankly at her desk mate. Just earlier he was asking her to tutor him in Chinese, and in the blink of an eye he is going for first place in Chinese. I laugh playfully. Keep it low-key. Easier said than done, I might not even pull it off. I suddenly notice I am hungry. Did class not just end? Why are you all not going to grab lunch? Sophie laughs. I am waiting for her. She said you do not have a meal card, so we should wait for you to get back and go together. I tease her playfully. Miss Bell, you are so good to me. Mia's ears turn bright red on the spot. She says nothing, just lowers her head and pulls a lunchbox out of her drawer. The afternoon classes are filled with endless tests again. Suddenly, my phone chimes. A message from Kevin Park comes through. Holy crap, you ended up in class 4 at Second High? I freeze for a second, not expecting Kevin to already know. There's a photo of you at Second High that someone posted on the campus forum, and everyone is asking why you transferred. A classmate of Jessica Lane is in your class. I know, Luna Knight told me. Oh, by the way, that novel you wrote on the forum seems to have gone viral. At first I thought I was seeing things. It blew up after only 4 chapters. Everyone in class today was talking about how you have not updated. How do they know it is me? They do not know. They were just saying, why has this author not updated yet? Though Jessica Lane probably knows it is you. Also, just now, the homeroom teacher came around asking if anyone knows who wrote that novel on the First High forum. He said a provincial official came in today to observe a class, accidentally saw the novel, and would not stop praising it. The principal said he wants to put it into the school library as a keepsake. Should I tell the teacher, you wrote it? While the identity of the author has not yet been exposed, Jessica Lane has on her own initiative gone to the teacher's office and told Mr. Sullivan that she knows who wrote it. Mr. Sullivan smiles. Perfect timing. I knew the novel on our school forum had to be written by one of our students. This time, a leader from the Education Bureau happened to come, and immediately took a liking to the novel. The principal wants to take advantage of this and set up a literature club at the school, and then have this student share his writing experience. By the way, is it a student from our class who wrote it? Jessica hesitates for a moment, then nods. Mr. Sullivan smiles at Jessica. So, who wrote it? Jessica falls silent for a moment. The truth is, she has been struggling with whether to say it, since I have already dropped out. Suddenly, Vice Principal Grant calls in asking who wrote the novel. Mr. Sullivan answers right away. Yes, a student from our class wrote it, after hanging up the phone. He remembers Jessica has not yet said who wrote it, so he asks directly, right, you still have not said who wrote it. Mr. Sullivan looks at Jessica with full expectation. Jessica hesitates and stammers, speaking quietly with a touch of awkwardness. Teacher, maybe let us just drop it. Mr. Sullivan laughs. Drop what? Did you write it yourself? Jessica nervously waves her hands. No, I did not write it. Then say it. Why are you suddenly afraid to say? Mr. Sullivan smiles. The school is not going to punish anyone. In fact, we want to encourage him. At last, with no choice left, Jessica says quietly, Ethan Walker. Mr. Sullivan freezes completely. What? You are saying the novel on the forum was written by Ethan Walker? Jessica keeps her head down. It should be because I saw that the account of the poster is his account. Mr. Sullivan is dumbfounded, his head buzzing. How can that be? His Chinese grades have always been mediocre. His essays are nothing special. How can it be him? Jessica answers with a guilty conscience. I do not know either, but that account really is Ethan Walker's. I just double-checked. I found old chat records too. Mr. Sullivan rubs his head right away, feeling like the universe is mocking him. Why on earth did you not say so earlier? Before Vice Principal Grant called me, why did you not tell me it was Ethan Walker? After all this, the person is not even at the school anymore, and I already told Vice Principal Grant yes. Thank goodness the Education Bureau leader did not say he wanted to meet the author. What would I do if they wanted to find him? Jessica lowers her head, looking miserable. I am sorry, teacher, I did not know either. I was just too afraid to say it since he's already dropped out. Mr. Sullivan is so angry he is numb. The worst part is, because of this he has already announced in the teacher group chat that the author is a student from his own class. Is this not slapping his own face? A student who has already dropped out, and a student who argued with him at that, turns out to be the one being singled out for recognition. Mr. Sullivan grits his teeth. He has stopped writing anyway, so just pretend you do not know who wrote it. I will come up with an excuse to explain it to the school leadership. Remember, absolutely do not tell anyone that Ethan Walker wrote it. Just say you do not know. Jessica looks like she wants to say something but holds back. Mr. Sullivan rubs his temples in frustration, adjusts his emotions, and finally pulls out his phone to call Vice Principal Grant. VP Grant, I am really sorry. I just spoke with the student. Turns out the novel was actually copied from somewhere else. Only that small amount of content exists. There is no more after that. That is why he was too embarrassed to come forward and claim it. After hanging up, Mr. Sullivan lets out a sigh of relief. But to be safe, in case other students know I wrote it, he has to go to the classroom and tell everyone to drop the topic. Mr. Sullivan quickly arrives at the classroom door, finding the English teacher about to begin class. Mr. Sullivan gives a small smile. Just a quick word, do not worry about that first high forum novel anymore. The principal said since it has stopped updating, we are letting it go. Do not concern yourselves with who wrote it. Even if you know, do not say it. From now on, do not discuss this anymore. Focus your minds on your studies. The 4-school joint mock exam is coming up. All of you should aim for a strong score. But just as he turns to leave, a student suddenly calls out, Teacher, wait! The novel just updated again 5 minutes ago. Mr. Sullivan's heart jolts and he freezes as if struck by lightning. It updated? Are you serious? The students immediately pull out their phones and start checking the forum. Sure enough, the novel Campus Dropout on the first high forum after going days without an update has just released a new chapter. Mr. Sullivan freezes completely, a storm rising inside him. He instinctively roars, Class is in session. Who told you to look at your phones? After class, everyone hand over your phones. The students all stare wide-eyed in shock, totally frightened. Only after Mr. Sullivan leaves, do they wipe a cold sweat off their brows and start whispering. Why did Mr. Sullivan suddenly explode like that? Kevin Park, on the other hand, seems to have figured something out. The corner of his mouth lifts slightly. He sneaks a glance at Jessica Lane, and sure enough, her expression is off too. He immediately sends me a secret message, telling me everything that just happened. Meanwhile, back in his office, Mr. Sullivan rubs his head in frustration. What is he supposed to do now? He just said the novel cannot continue, and now this brat has gone and updated it. What if he just gives up and... If he admits the novel is written by the student who already dropped out, that means admitting he just lied. But if he doesn't come clean, what happens when the school leaders want to find this student? Right at this moment, Mr. Sullivan suddenly has an idea. He immediately calls Dean Hall and tells him the truth, that the forum novel is written by me. Dean Hall snaps back. Why didn't you just say he dropped out? Why insist on claiming someone copied it? Now that the novel is updating again, how do you explain it? This isn't my problem. You handle it yourself. Mr. Sullivan grits his teeth. How am I supposed to handle it? Should I just say your son got into a fight and then teamed up with a female classmate to get their story straight, forcing Ethan Walker to drop out? The line falls dead silent. Dean Hall's voice turns cold. So what do you want? Mr. Sullivan frowns. Let's go straight to the forum moderator, say we're worried about academics, and just delete Ethan Walker's account or mute him. Meanwhile, over at Second High, students notice the novel is updating again. A bunch of them whip out their phones to log in and check. Right then, Eric Walsh, the physics class rep, runs straight over. He stands beside me and asks, Hey, don't you know that author? Could you ask him to update on a regular schedule? He writes so well. Right at that moment, Mia Bell suddenly gasps. It's gone. Why has the post been deleted? In an instant, everyone is dumbfounded. Just a second ago, it was still there and now it's gone. I frown and check the post on my own account. Sure enough, the post is deleted. I blurt out, half laughing, badass. Truly badass. They really want to wipe me out. Sophie Jenkins asks, puzzled, what do you mean? Just as I'm about to say something, I notice the math teacher has already arrived at the classroom door. I quickly send Kevin Park a message, but he beats me to it. Your post got deleted. Feels like the homeroom teacher did it. He just told us not to talk about this. On stage, the math teacher clears his throat. You all know about Friday's 4-to-school joint mock exam, right? This time we're swapping schools for the exam, so take it seriously. Now I'm handing out 2 test papers. One is the math paper from the joint mock exam 2 years ago that I copied, and the other part I wrote myself. Class rep, come up and pass them out. But at that very moment Mr. Ross, the Chinese teacher, suddenly appears at the classroom door. He knocks and smiles. Ethan Walker, step out for a moment. Everyone glances curiously at me, sitting in the back. Out in the hallway, Mr. Ross lowers his voice and asks, "Why was your novel deleted?" I shrug and smile. No idea. Did no one notify you? I just heard from a teacher at First High that the Board of Education leaders even praised your novel. How is it suddenly gone? My eyes light up. I get it now, sir. Because I dropped out, they deleted it. Otherwise things would keep spiraling and that wouldn't be good. Mr. Ross laughs in realization. Makes sense. Why not just post updates on our Second High forum? You're at Second High now anyway. No one will delete your posts. And if you place in the new concept writing competition later, your novel might even get published. I head back into the classroom for the lesson. Soon after, the math teacher announces, 5-minute break. We'll continue after. But just as I stand up to go take a leak, Luna Knight suddenly runs over. She grins. I know a secret. Then she leans in and whispers in my ear, "That novel is yours, isn't it?" I raise an eyebrow. "Did Jessica Lane tell you?" Luna laughs smugly. "I'm not telling." I lean in and whisper back to her, "I'll tell you a secret too. I'm going to post new updates on the Second High forum." With that, she claps her hands gleefully. Right then I notice that the pen on my desk, along with the notebook I borrowed from Mia Bell, are both gone. I turn to Mia surprised. "Did you take back the pen and notebook?" Mia doesn't say a word, so I reach out to grab them myself, but she blocks me. "No way. Go borrow from Luna Knight." I burst out laughing and look at my desk mate, the little rich girl Mia Bell with her stiff face. "Are you jealous?" Mia huffs. "You two are so close, why borrow from me?" I have to admit, the little rich girl looks pretty cute when she's jealous. Looking at her still angry face, I think for a moment, then unlock my phone and show her my forum account. She stubbornly takes a peek, then quickly covers her surprised mouth. I quickly shush her, smiling, and gently cover her lips. Then I tell her how Luna found out the novel is mine, and the real reason behind the fight with the dean's son back at First High. On Wednesday's PE class, the teacher has everyone run 1,500 meters. Watching the way Mia Bell runs, I understand why no boy ever pursues her, and why she barely has any close friends. She's probably been mocked, so much that she's grown introverted. But right now I have this sudden feeling, like I've discovered a hidden gem. Most importantly, no one knows how to cherish this adorably clueless little rich girl. So from now on, let me be the one who treasures you. I jog right alongside her on the track. As expected, Mia shows that self-conscious look. She keeps her head down and runs in silence. I ask her from beside her, "What do you want to drink?" "My treat." And honestly, you don't need to care what those people say. Only then does Mia lift her head cautiously, but she still looks timid and unsure. As she runs, she murmurs shyly, You're not laughing at me." In the blink of an eye, everyone finishes running. Mia, Sophie Jenkins, and I rest in place. I smile slowly. "Want to play badminton later?" The two girls shake their heads and say quietly, "We'll just sit here for a bit." While the three of us are resting, everyone watching is stunned by what I'm doing. Clearly Mia and Sophie are the kind of girls labeled as undesirable. They're not actually ugly, they just lack that girlish charm. Right then, Luna Knight smiles. Why not invite them over? She walks over and asks Mia and Sophie to join the Johnsy game. I take this chance to post my earlier novel chapters to the Second High forum and add a new update while I'm at it. As I'm typing, I suddenly look up and see Mia and Sophie both walking back toward the school path with dark expressions. Mia is even wiping away tears as she walks. I chase after them, ready to ask what's going on, but Mia just glances at me, her face red and full of hurt, and without saying a word, she runs straight toward the classroom building. Sophie bites her lip, looking conflicted, and chases after her. Then she turns back and shouts at me, "It's all because of you!" Stunned, I rush after them, grab Sophie and ask, "Explain." Sophie sighs. She glances at the group of girls playing Jianzi in the distance. "You just bought us water, and they saw it. They were just talking about it. I only said you didn't buy it for me, you bought it for Mia, and they all started teasing. They said it was unbelievable that you'd go after Mia, and that your taste must be terrible, really weird, like a flower stuck in a pile of manure." My mouth twitches. I ask in disbelief, who said that? Who said a flower in manure? They're calling me the manure? Sophie bites her lip and whispers, "They're saying you're the flower." I can't help but laugh and curse. Who said it? Tell me. Tina Reed. Luna said she didn't expect Ethan Walker to have such bad taste, and then Tina Reed said it was like a flower stuck in manure. Fine, I say. You go on up. I'm going to make Tina Reed apologize. I head straight toward the group of girls playing Johnsy. Seeing me approach, Luna and the other girls seem to figure out what's coming. Luna laughs awkwardly. Sorry, we kind of made Mia Bell cry." I take a deep breath. I speak with a serious expression. "Apologize. But I'm guessing you can't even say it out loud. So you and Tina Reed write her an apology note." Luna freezes. I have to write one too?" She protests, jealousy creeping in. "I don't want to. Why should I?" I glare at her and snap. "When I say apologize, do I have to start cursing too?" Luna jumps in shock, completely frozen. Even the girls playing Jianzi in the distance never expected me to suddenly lose my temper like that. Luna's eyes turn red and she bursts into tears. She crouches down on the ground, crying and wiping her tears. The boys watching this start buzzing. Jason Pierce rushes over. "What's wrong? You're crying? Did she bully you?" Luna shakes her head while crying, stands up and says, "None of your business." She glares at me one last time, then turns and walks away. Jason's mouth twitches. He points at me and shouts, "Don't leave after school." That afternoon, the whole class atmosphere turns weird. Everyone is whispering, especially during the last study period before dismissal. Sophie passes Mia a note. "I heard Ethan made Luna cry. Jason said he's coming for him after school." Reading this, Mia bites her lip nervously. She looks at me beside her and whispers, You should see this. Mia's eyes are full of worry. She bites her lip and says softly, I'm sorry, maybe we should tell the teacher. I frown. No way. If we tell the teacher, they'll drag you into it too. I don't want you involved. Honestly, I can imagine what would happen if Luna, Mia, Jason, and I all got pulled in by the teacher. Even if the situation seems resolved, the gossip around us would only get worse. After all, in my last life back at First High, I went through this once already. Idle gossip really can shatter a fragile mind, let alone someone like Mia who's already... There's no way I'm putting her in the spotlight. Mia looks at me, hurt and afraid. Finally, she writes a few words on paper and slides it to me. Let me go apologize to her. I roll my eyes at her and write back, no way. I have a plan. Honestly, when it comes to these off-campus brawls, the simplest and most direct method is to show them you're tougher than they are, so they back down. The corners of my mouth tilt up. I pass her another note. Got any money? Lend me some. I need to scrape together cash to hire some guys. But nobody could have predicted what happens next. 2 minutes later, I receive a transfer. I stare in disbelief at the number. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. A total of 286,751 yuan. I'm totally floored. So, a senior in high school with this kind of money? Is that enough? If not, I can ask my mom for more. It's enough. I bury my face in my hands and laugh. This is just insane. I scroll through my contacts and decide it's better to just hit up Kevin Park. Someone's planning to jump me after school. Talk to your cousin and get me some guys to come to the second high gate after school today. 300 a person, 500 extra if they actually fight. Kevin is stunned. What's going on? Bro, is second high really that rough? I transfer 30,000 yuan over to him. Holy crap, 30 grand! Are you trying to bring 100 people? After confirming with Kevin, I smirk. I glance up at Jason Pierce in the distance, and he seems to be staring back at me. The dismissal bell rings. A lot of students instinctively turn to glance at me sitting in the back. Even Luna Knight, the English class rep, can't help walking over. She pulls me to the back of the classroom with a complicated look and whispers, maybe don't go out yet. Jason has people waiting for you outside. Luna shakes her head, full of worry. I'm sorry, I told him not to, but he insists on making trouble for you. If you can't fight back, just apologize. Someone already got beaten up over this before. I laugh. What? Are you worried about me? You're a boarding student too, right? Just remember to apologize to Mia during evening study hall. With that, I walk out of the classroom with total swagger. Seeing she can't talk me out of it, Luna turns to Mia and pleads, I'm sorry, can you tell him not to go to the school gate, otherwise he'll really get beaten up. Luna crouches by Mia's desk, begging her in fear. Mia shakes her head and answers seriously, I trust him. Luna is about to cry from frustration. No, this isn't about trust. Ethan can't beat those guys. Jason has called a ton of people. Fine, I admit I shouldn't have said those things. I was just a little jealous, okay? But I really don't want to see Ethan get beaten up. You're close with him, right? Talk him out of it. Mia hesitates, but eventually shakes her head and whispers, actually he called people too. Luna, anxious and frustrated, holds her head and mutters, then what do we do? She bites her lip and gets ready to head to the teacher's office, but Mia gathers her courage and speaks up. We can't go. He said we can't tell the teacher. Right now, Mia's eyes are unusually firm. In the past, when faced with situations like this, she wouldn't know what to do, but right now she believes she should trust me. If she tells the teacher now, all my preparations will be wasted. Luna explains anxiously, are you crazy? If this blows up, Ethan might end up getting expelled again. Mia takes a deep breath. She speaks calmly. That's exactly why we have to trust him. We can't tell the teacher. Luna's mouth falls open slightly. She stares at Mia in disbelief. In that moment, it feels like a dream. Meanwhile, on the path leading to the school gate, a few classmates beside me say, aren't you scared to walk out there? Those guys hang out with Jason a lot. I laugh. Where's Jason? No idea. He apparently went to the teacher's office to ask about homework. I'm a little surprised. Building an alibi. Leo Carter bursts into laughter. You're sharp, haha. No wonder you're a top student. But seriously, just lower your head and apologize. We're all classmates. No need to make things ugly. Want me to talk to Jason for you? I keep one hand in my pocket and don't say a word, walking straight toward the school gate. Soon I see several electric scooters and motorcycles parked along the roadside outside the gate. 7 or 8 guys who look like punks stand there smoking. Leo pats my shoulder and laughs. I'm out. Bye. Good luck. Sure enough, the moment Leo leaves, those smoking punks fix their eyes on me. They exchange smirks, and one with bleached blonde hair walks straight toward me. Hey you, come here. Other students leaving school jump in fright and quickly back away, not daring to come near. The blonde punk drapes an arm over my shoulder while smoking. You're the transfer student in class 4, senior year 3, right? I raise an eyebrow. I size up the group. They're really just those dropout kids from trade school types, only a few years older than me, riding their crappy electric scooters and step-through scooters to corner students at the school gate. I can't help laughing. Yeah. Are you the ones Jason Pierce called over? The blonde shakes his head with a smirk. Come on, we just want to talk. Honestly, an average high schooler would be scared in this situation, especially with these guys sporting dyed hair, tattoos, smoking, and 2 of them even holding metal pipes and buckets. It really is intimidating. But for someone reborn like me, it's almost comical. I laugh. Just you guys? I thought they called way more. The blonde sneers. Big Way said we're a few short. Another punk taunts. Who do you think you are? Acting all tough. We're not enough? Just as he finishes, over at the bus stop, Kevin's cousin mutters as he walks. Is it over there? Let's go, let's go. A huge wave of street guys waiting at the bus stop surges toward the punks like a tidal wave, leaving the surrounding students and even parents picking up their kids stunned. Parents quickly shield their children behind them. Even the security guard at the gate is dazed and shakily pulls out his phone to call the school leadership. The punks Jason called are completely stunned. Brother Six, is this really all of them? Just a few damn kids? You needed all of us for this? I thought it was something huge, but it's just a few dropout kids cornering someone at a school gate. Brother Six, having seen my photo, smiles. Ethan, right? Just these few? I had already seen Kevin's cousin's photo earlier, so I respond, I didn't expect just this many. Thought there'd be at least 15 or 20. The guy who said he'd beat me up deliberately went to ask the teacher about homework. He's not even here. You handle it however you want. Both sides are off-campus people anyway. If anyone asks, just say it's a traffic dispute. Brother Six laughs heartily. Alright, head home first. He immediately surrounds the punk kids. Who sent you here? Come on, let's not block the gate, we'll talk over there. Then dozens of guys haul the punks aside to educate them. At this moment, Dean Price rushes to the school gate only to find no one outside. Wait, what's going on? Didn't someone say there was a fight at the gate? The security guard swallows. Yeah, it looked like a student got dragged off, and just as I was about to check, suddenly a huge crowd came out and pulled those punk-looking kids away. They went to the left, I think. Dean Price takes a sharp breath and asks, did any of our students get hurt? The guard shakes his head. I don't think so. The student seems to have left. Hearing this, Dean Price finally breathes a sigh of relief. He immediately sends a message in the school's homeroom teacher group chat. Second high homeroom teachers, there were outsiders loitering and fighting at the school gate. Ask your students if anyone knows anything. Check if anyone got hurt. If so, notify me immediately. Right away, every homeroom teacher at second high starts privately messaging students to ask about the situation. That night during evening, study hall, class 4, senior year 3, is buzzing. Someone hiding at the gate took photos of the punks being hauled off, and then a huge crowd rushing out, scaring those punks half to death. Damn, badass. I thought Ethan was done for. Who could have guessed he's the real boss, calling in dozens of people, and all adults too. All the classmates are excitedly discussing it, suddenly impressed with me. Everyone used to think Jason Pierce was tough. Since back in year 2 he already gathered people at the school gate for gang fights with other classes. But who could have imagined that the top student transferred from first high is even more savage? Luna Knight sighs. She writes a note and tosses it over to Jason. After reading it, he's so furious he slams his books down. That night during study hall, Jason gets called to the teacher's office to stand and write a self-criticism essay. Meanwhile, in the study hall, someone suddenly shouts, Quick, look! That novel from first high about the dropout, someone posted it on the second high forum. Hey, this ID looks familiar. He says he transferred from first high to second high, so future updates will be on the second high forum. A whole group of girls instantly gets excited. Sophie Jenkins's eyes widen in disbelief. She turns to Mia in the back and whispers, the author says he transferred from first high to second high. She instinctively glances at the empty seat next to Mia. She expects Mia to be shocked, but instead Mia just nods. Sophie blurts out in shock, It really is Ethan Walker! The whole classroom turns to look. The room erupts. Ethan really wrote it? Oh my god, wasn't it supposed to be his classmate? Wait, the only transfer from first high is him, right? Luna smiles. Then it has to be him. Luna and Mia exchange a look, as if confirming something. Right then, Tina Reed runs up to Luna and whispers, What do we do? Should we go apologize? Even Jason Pierce couldn't take him on. Will Ethan send people to beat us up? Luna sighs. He won't. But you should still apologize. Write a few hundred-word apology letter. Tina nods immediately. She quickly pulls out a notebook, tears off a page, and starts writing the apology. After the first period of evening study hall, Tina nervously approaches Mia and stammers, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said those things today. She hands over the apology letter. Luna also says seriously, I'm sorry too, but I've made up my mind. Hearing this, Tina freezes. Mia looks up blankly. Luna gathers her courage and smiles. Let's compete fairly. Let's see who can win Ethan Walker's heart. Sophie's mouth drops open. She stares at the two of them, frozen. Mia is also stunned. She never imagined a guy like me would actually like her. Suddenly she feels dizzy, as if she's floating in space. The next day, when I arrive at school, I'm already the man of the hour as I walk down the school path. Students whisper and shoot glances at me, but no one dares to greet me directly. When I get to the school cafeteria, I happen to run into Leo Carter. He swallows awkwardly. Big E, I'm sorry, I'm not actually that close with Jason really. I tried to talk him out of it yesterday, but he wouldn't listen. Leo has heard everything. The guys Jason called yesterday didn't teach me a lesson, instead they got taught a lesson by other people. I laugh. That's not what you said yesterday. After that he keeps calling me Big E this and Big E that, constantly praising my novel. Are there demon sorcerers or evil spirits in that spaceship? I think to myself, this guy's quite something too. What are these anime spirits he's talking about? I don't bother responding. Back in the classroom, I'm instantly surrounded by classmates. Yes, fine, I'll come clean. I wrote the novel. I laugh as I speak and head back to my seat. The moment I sit down, I'm surprised to find a serving of fried rice noodles and a bottle of milk on my desk. I poke Sophie Jenkins in front of me. Who put this here? Sophie glances at the empty seat of the English class rep. Probably Luna bought it for you. Right then, Mia also walks in carrying a bag of breakfast and a few textbooks. The moment she sits down, I hand her the fried rice noodles and milk, then swap them for the noodles she bought. I smile. Let's switch. Mia frowns and asks why. I explain with a serious face. I want to eat yours. Yours smells better. Mia freezes for a moment. She has no idea why hers would smell better, but she just says, oh, it's all fried rice noodles anyway, doesn't matter. And don't waste the milk, take a sip. I personally bring the milk to Mia's lips. She gives me a strange look, then suddenly her eyes widen in realization. You're trying to avoid paying me back? After some thinking, she concludes that her deskmate is trying to swallow her entire fortune. Otherwise, Why would I be sucking up to her so early in the morning? I burst out laughing. Miss Bell, am I really that kind of person? I admit I'm not exactly a saint, but I wouldn't scam you of all people. Don't worry, I'll pay you back, just not right now. Mia pouts. That's all my New Year's money, plus this month's allowance. How about this? For the next while, I'll cover all your food and expenses, deal. And later, I'll pay you back with interest. Mia frowns. Really? Like this, from now on you swipe my meal card. And then I'll set up a family card for you on WeChat, and load some pocket money on it. $3,000 a month enough? Mia shakes her head. Too much, 600 is enough. I roll my eyes. No way. You have to spend $1,000 a month. If you can't spend it all, you fail. Girls need to learn how to spend money. Miss Bell, you're way too thrifty. With that, I add the family card to her WeChat and set the limit to $1,000 a month. Mia just murmurs oh blankly. I'll try then. This little rich girl is honestly cracking me up. Then Ms. Lambert calls Jason Pierce and me out of the classroom. The other students secretly peek from the corners of their eyes. In the hallway by the back door, Ms. Lambert has a stern face. You both know why I called you out, right? I smile. Teacher, I really didn't fight. Yesterday was my cousin's birthday. If you don't believe me, ask Jason. Jason and I are best buds. Why would we fight? Jason is dumbfounded. He's completely frozen. Best buds, huh? Ms. Lambert glances at Jason. You explain. Jason's mouth opens slightly. He struggles for a long time and only manages a single word. Yes. He only manages to squeeze out one word. Yeah. Ms. Lambert is exasperated and laughs. Best buds, huh? Fine. How about I arrange for you two to sit together? The moment she says this, the two of us almost simultaneously say, no, no. Ms. Lambert crosses her arms helplessly. Aren't you best buds? Why don't you want to? I smile. Mainly because it'd affect our studies. Sitting together, we definitely chat all the time during class. Ms. Lambert looks at me and notices I really don't look like I've been beaten up. As for Jason, no need to say more. Yesterday, this kid apparently refused to leave the math teacher's office, forcing himself to grind through an entire test paper, so he definitely wasn't in any fight. Fine. I won't notify your parents about this for now, but Ethan Walker, and you, Jason Pierce, if I hear about you two clashing again, or worse, calling in outsiders, don't bother explaining to me. Just go straight to the dean's office and explain it to the dean, understood? I smile. Got it, Ms. Lambert. By the way, that English-speaking contest you mentioned, I want to sign up. Ms. Lambert takes a deep breath and waves Jason off. You head back first. Then she pulls me aside and asks privately, tell me, has Jason been targeting you in class? Did he force you not to tell the teacher? I then report the entire gate incident to her like a stone-cold operative laying it all out. Hearing this, Ms. Lambert is completely dumbfounded. So this is what best buds means. Before heading back to class, I don't forget to coach her on how to report this to the school leadership. Just say those guys yesterday were here for my cousin's birthday and happened to pass by the school gate. Ms. Lambert can't help but laugh. I casually add, Teacher, you look really pretty when you smile. Ms. Lambert can't handle this kid's mouth and kicks at me. She laughs. Go, 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 get back to morning reading, you and your antics. Clearly my sweet talk works. She doesn't pursue the matter between us further. Standing on the podium, Ms. Lambert announces, tomorrow is the 4-school joint mock exam. I'll hand out exam ID cards this afternoon, so keep them safe. Also about the English-speaking contest, only 3 people have signed up so far, so there's no need for selection. Ethan Walker, Luna Knight, Sophie Jenkins, you 3 can start preparing on your own. Oh, and for the New Year's talent show, each class needs at least 2 performances. If you have a performance. Ready? Register with the Arts Committee rep. Meanwhile, the classroom at First High is in an uproar. Have you heard? That novel that was being updated on the First High forum a while back is now updating on the Second High forum. They say it's written by a transfer student. I asked someone from Second High, and they said it sounds like a senior year transfer. No way. Could it actually be Ethan Walker who wrote it? The voices suddenly cut off because Vice Principal Grant is standing at the back door of the classroom. After hearing the discussion, he frowns and asks, who reposted that First High forum novel to Second High? The whole class is instantly dumbfounded, looking at one another. Vice Principal Grant keeps a stern face. Where's the class president? Chris Bennett stands up. He smiles bitterly. Principal, I really don't know. I don't even know who wrote it. Vice Principal Grant counters in surprise. You don't know? Then how come someone told me it's written by a student in your class? The moment he says this, the whole class explodes. It's not really Ethan Walker, is it? Chris Bennett scratches his head and laughs. Principal, that novel is being updated on the Second High forum, and it even says the author transferred there from First High. If it's from our class, then it has to be Ethan Walker. Vice Principal Grant pauses. Your homeroom teacher told me he found the student and that they stopped because of Gaokao concerns, so the novel was halted. The students all shake their heads. Right at that moment, Kevin Park suddenly stands up. Principal, it really is Ethan Walker who wrote it. Back when we heard the Board of Education leader praise the novel, I asked him about it. But later Mr. Sullivan told us to drop it, and that was that. Vice Principal Grant's face darkens immediately. With a stern expression, he says, Understood. Continue your morning reading. With that, he walks out of the classroom. The moment he leaves, Class 2, Senior Year 3 erupts with excitement. A huge crowd surrounds Kevin Park. Ethan Walker really wrote it. Meanwhile, Mr. Sullivan is in the office sorting test papers when Vice Principal Grant suddenly walks in. The other teachers in the office all look up. Vice Principal Grant stands at the office doorway with a thoroughly grim look. Class 2 homeroom teachers step outside for a moment. The two of them then move to the doorway to talk privately. What? You're saying that novel is now updating on the Second High forum? Mr. Sullivan trembles and breaks into a cold sweat. I thought banning my account would stop the updates, but who could have guessed this kid would just go post on the second high forum? Vice Principal Grant keeps a stern face. Didn't you say at the start that you'd communicate with the kid's parents? That the updates stopped because it was affecting his studies? But your students are saying that the student who dropped out is the one who wrote it. Mr. Sullivan smiles awkwardly. Well, Vice Principal Grant snaps Mr. Sullivan. Oh, Mr. Sullivan, don't think I don't know. You deliberately avoided saying it's the student who dropped out after fighting with you, didn't you? What are you so afraid of? Even if that novel is written by him, so what? Just say it directly. Now you've put me in such a tough spot. How am I supposed to explain this? I specifically told the Board of Education leaders that academics come first, so updates were paused. In a few days, the board leaders are going to second high to observe classes. Don't you know what's at stake right now? First high, second high, experimental high, and washi high are all competing for the provincial key demonstration school title. We absolutely cannot leave a bad impression on the leaders. Find a way to get this student to take down the novel immediately, or get him to come back and update on the first high forum. Mr. Sullivan's mouth falls open. He's stunned. Vice Principal Grant continues with a grave expression. Mr. Sullivan, I remember you're applying for senior teacher certification this year, right? If this incident makes first high a laughingstock, you know exactly how severe the consequences will be. Hurry up while not many people know about it yet. Handle it immediately. Either get him to come back to the first high forum, or get him to stop updating altogether. Otherwise, isn't this humiliating? Should have just said it was written by an outsider from the start. Mr. Sullivan grits his teeth. Vice Principal, this was my mistake, rest assured I won't let first high lose face on my watch. Vice Principal Grant finally looks satisfied, then turns and walks away with his hands clasped behind his back. During the third period, Mr. Sullivan addresses the students. Before class, I want to discuss something with everyone. Who here is closer with Ethan Walker? The students look at one another. Finally, Kevin Park raises his hand and laughs. Sir, I'm pretty close, someone else mutters quietly. Jessica Lane. Mr. Sullivan's eyes light up. That's right, Jessica Lane, you're close with Ethan Walker. Help me ask him, why did he suddenly stop updating the novel on the first high forum? Can he come back to the first high forum and stop writing on the second high forum? Jessica Lane hesitates. Sir, but he's studying at second high now. Isn't it normal for him to update on the second high forum? Why come back to first high? Mr. Sullivan replies, just persuade him, tell him classmates love reading it, aren't you two friends? Either way, writing here or there is the same thing. While I'm seriously studying in class, I suddenly receive a message from Kevin Park. Ha 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 ha, this is going to be good. The principal came to our class today asking about your novel, and Mr. Sullivan told Jessica Lane to reach out to you and ask you to come back and update on first high. I tease back. I already unfriended Jessica Lane. No wonder she was stammering. She's probably too embarrassed to admit you deleted her. Ha ha ha, this is hilarious. Sure enough, a moment later, I receive a friend request. Jessica Lane wants to add you as a friend. Without hesitation, I reject it. I even deliberately turn to my desk mate, the little rich girl Mia Bell, and smile. Miss Bell, don't forget you're treating me to a movie on Saturday, Mia explains pitifully, but I'm broke now. I laugh until my stomach hurts. This is just too cute and clueless. Fine, my treat. Mia suddenly shakes her head. No, don't I have that family card? I promised I'd treat you. Mia stares blankly, like her brain isn't processing. About 10 minutes into class, the little rich girl suddenly mumbles to herself, wait, that's not right. Swiping the family card doesn't count as me treating you, unless I separately pay for the tickets. I'm sprawled on my desk, grinning. The little rich girl is just too adorable. Ethan Walker, what are you laughing at? The chemistry teacher on the podium calls me out in front of the whole class. Only now do I remember class is in session. I stand up immediately, smiling. Sir, I just remembered something funny. Mia's face turns bright red. She knows I'm laughing at her. She buries her head. Sir, I was working on a chemistry problem, and there was one that said Ba plus 2Na equals banana. I was wondering if I discovered some secret. The moment I finished, the whole class bursts out laughing. The chemistry teacher then scolds, from now on, focus during class. Save extra problems for your free time. Finally, lunchtime arrives. The moment class ends, Luna Knight runs over to my desk. Did you really reject her friend request? I blank for a moment, then quickly catch on. Jessica Lane reached out to you? Luna clicks her tongue and laughs. You're so cold. She said she has something to discuss with you. Just add her back, I reply coldly. No need. Let's go, Miss Bell, let's grab lunch. Mia replies, oh, and follows behind me. Luna is stunned for a moment because it's the first time she's been so blatantly ignored. Tina Reed comes over and smiles. Come on, stop staring. Maybe he just likes that type of girl. In the cafeteria line, while I'm trying to decide what to eat, I suddenly notice the little rich girl's big eyes are misty as she looks at me. What's wrong? Nobody bullied you, did they? I look at Sophie Jenkins beside us, half amused, half exasperated. Why is she suddenly like this? Sophie shakes her head. Mia suddenly asks, softly, almost guiltily, Your ex-girlfriend at first high, is she really pretty? I burst out laughing. Are you jealous? Mia bites her lip and says nothing, her eyes earnestly fixed on me with curiosity. The three of us find a corner, eating and chatting. By the way, are you signing up for the talent show? Mia also looks at me curiously. I'm silent for a few seconds, then smile. I might not. Sophie suddenly says to me, I'll tell you a secret. Mia won first prize at last year's talent show. Hearing this, I'm a bit surprised. Mia shakes her head shyly and signals Sophie to stop. Sophie laughs. What are you afraid of? This is your strength. Then she tells me the secret that Mia is a piano specialty student. After lunch, and a bit more talk about the performance, I smile and say, Then I'll volunteer to sign up. Meanwhile, Jessica Lane comes to the teacher's office. Sir, I'm sorry. The truth is, Ethan Walker is hurt by what I did, and he won't speak to me. Maybe you should just call him yourself. Mr. Sullivan is dumbfounded. You two are classmates. You should be better at this than me. Aren't you the one close with him? Jessica blushes and whispers. Sir, that was before. Mr. Sullivan tries to coax her earnestly. Listen, boys are actually very easy to win over. Just go up to him and say a few sweet words. See how that goes. Treat him to a meal, and I'll pick up the bill. I do bear some responsibility for Ethan Walker dropping out. I really didn't handle it well at the start. Jessica counters with a hint of grievance, sir. Then why don't you want to call Ethan Walker yourself? Just talk to him directly. Mr. Sullivan freezes. His mouth opens slightly, wanting to say something but unable to. Jessica suddenly gathers her courage. Sir, is it because you can't swallow your pride? Mr. Sullivan's face darkens immediately. Don't talk nonsense, you can go back to class now. Jessica quickly responds. Okay, I'll head back. However, the moment Jessica leaves the office, Mr. Sullivan immediately regrets it. He smacks his forehead. This. Mr. Sullivan grits his teeth. He finds the student contact list on his computer and stares at the string of phone numbers, but he can't bring himself to press the call button. After hesitating again and again, he can only call in my old deskmate Kevin Park. Kevin walks into the office and stands at attention. Mr. Sullivan forces a smile. You used to be Ethan Walker's deskmate. You two should be on good terms. See if you can tell him to stop writing the novel on the second high form and come back to update on first high. Or maybe we can wait until after the Gaokao to continue. Mr. Sullivan smiles shamelessly. I'm mainly worried it's affecting his studies. Kevin asks, knowing full well, sir, he's already transferred. Are you still worried about his grades? And wouldn't writing on the first high form affect his studies just the same? Mr. Sullivan clears his throat. It's definitely different. Just see if you can help me communicate with Ethan Walker. Kevin presses his lips. Sir, I can try, but... Mr. Sullivan's eyes light up. But what? Tell me. Kevin deliberately scratches his head and smiles. I still owe him money, so it's awkward to reach out. Mr. Sullivan replies, that's no big deal. How much do you owe him? I'll cover it. Kevin asks in disbelief. Really? Mr. Sullivan thinks about it. This is a matter of face, and involves the approval stamp for his senior teacher application. He smiles generously. Of course. Besides, I'm asking you a favor too. How much do you owe? Kevin looks down and rubs his nose, smiling. Not much really, just 400 yuan. Mr. Sullivan grits his teeth. Fine, I'll cover the 400. You talk to Ethan Walker and tell him it's best, and I mean best, that we wait until after the Gaokao to continue the novel. Even though he's transferred, as a teacher, I'm worried he'll mess up the Gaokao. After all, this is a major life. Kevin holds back a laugh. Sir, it's possible, but I can't guarantee anything. Forget it, I'll just pay him back when I have money myself. Mr. Sullivan immediately whips out his phone with a generous smile. Here, let me scan your code. Just help me persuade him. You don't have to pay this back, but you have to put real effort into it. Really, this is seriously hurting his studies. Kevin grins. Sir, are you sure I don't have to pay you back? Mr. Sullivan smiles. No need, I'm a man of my word. Alright then, I'll give it a try. Mr. Sullivan actually transfers the 400 yuan right then. Sir, I'll head back to class now and I'll let you know once Ethan Walker replies. Alright, you go ahead. The moment Kevin steps out of the office, he immediately sends me a message. Ha 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 ha, you won't believe this. Mr. Sullivan just gave me 400 yuan to talk you out of writing the novel. Looks like Mr. Sullivan really is desperate. The corners of my mouth lift up. I mutter. Gotta post a new chapter tonight to celebrate. That night, back at home, while everyone else is reviewing for tomorrow's 4-school joint mock exam, I'm researching how to register a TikTok shop store. I remember in a few years, e-commerce will see a massive wave. Opening an online store now isn't exactly being first to the table, but it counts as second or third in line. At least it's before the e-commerce boom crushes brick-and-mortar businesses. As for what to sell, I'm not planning to build a long-term brand. I want to make a quick fortune in the short term. So I pick a very niche and overlooked industry, selling mogu lingerie, but I'm still a student, so I have to keep things low-key. Luckily, I just turned 18 last month, meeting the ID requirement to register a store. Suddenly, Kevin sends a message. Holy crap, Ethan Walker, your account got hacked. Ha ha ha. No, I'm planning to open a store and sell this stuff. No, you must be hacked. In Kevin's memory, I'm the definition of a no-game straight guy, plus a science top student. He can't possibly imagine that I would send him pictures of mogu lingerie. The wildest part is that I even say I want to sell it. The thing is, right now, I really don't have many close friends. So I just send Kevin the lingerie photos and ask him to help pick the samples. By 10 at night, I finally finalize the samples, upload all the product photos, then work through some test papers and fall asleep. Early the next morning, I arrive at the classroom. Soon after, the proctor walks in. Leo Carter suddenly smiles at me. Hey Big E, how's your Chinese? Decent, barring surprises I should be ranked first in the grade. Leo gives a thumbs up and laughs. Killer. But the moment he says this, a familiar voice cuts in. Top of the grade, huh? Just don't get caught cheating by me. I look up and freeze. The proctor turns out to be Dean Hall from First High. Only now do I remember. The 4-school joint mock exam has teachers from the 4 schools cross-proctoring. Alright, put away all your books and study materials. If I catch anyone with cheat sheets or copying, your test papers will be confiscated. I don't know about Second High, but at First High, cheating means notifying parents. After saying this, Dean Hall doesn't forget to shoot me a side glance. The moment I get the paper, I start writing immediately. An hour goes by in a flash. Sir, can I turn in my paper early? I smile slightly and raise my hand. I glance at the clock on the wall. 45 minutes are left. No need to keep sitting here. Dean Hall, the second high proctor today, smiles. Way too early. Everyone remember you can't turn in papers in the last 30 minutes of the Gaokao, but in the end I time it perfectly to turn in my paper exactly 30 minutes before the cutoff. Dean Hall collects my paper and pulls me aside. He frowns. That novel on the first high form, you wrote it? I never heard you had this kind of talent. Why didn't you show it before? I smile slightly. Dean, I heard the Board of Education leaders praised me. Remember to tell the leaders I'm at second high now. Dean Hall's face darkens. A few compliments and you're getting cocky? Let me tell you, the Gaokao is what matters. All day you waste time on useless stuff. Total waste of time. I respond slowly. Right. You're absolutely right, Dean. If there's nothing else, I'll head off. Maybe I'll go write a couple chapters. Perhaps the Board of Education leaders are waiting for an update. Dean Hall is fuming. This kid really knows how to rub salt in the wound. After I leave, he immediately pulls out his phone and sends a message to Mr. Sullivan. Your student is going to be the death of me, writing some lousy novel and acting like he's some big deal. Handle it now. Mr. Sullivan replies, Dean, I've been thinking. Since he won't take it down on his own, let's hold a creative writing contest at school. With so many students at first high, surely at least one can outdo him. Once someone writes better than him, the problem solves itself. Dean Hall's eyes light up. That's actually a great idea. I'll suggest it to the principal. First high moves fast. After the Chinese exam, every homeroom teacher has already sent out the notice. Submissions are accepted in novel form, with gold, silver, and bronze prizes to be awarded by the principal himself. Outstanding works will be added to the school library collection. Since the contest covers years 1 and 2 as well, quite a few students respond enthusiastically, posting their creations on the school forum. Several students start writing novels right away. I heard First High is holding some kind of writing contest. Sophie Jenkins freezes mid-bite and instinctively glances at me sitting next to Mia. I heard about it too, ha, this is hilarious. We chat about the exam for a while. You can prepare ahead for essays on environmental governance. I feel like it's very likely to be a topic, since the news has been talking about environmental governance a lot, and recycling and that kind of thing. Sophie can't help but praise me. Wow, you're amazing, no wonder you're a top student. Can all First High students predict exam topics like this? Mia pulls out her phone while eating. I laugh, amused. My predictions are usually accurate. Can't speak for others. By the way, Miss Bell, you promised to treat me to a movie tomorrow, don't bail on me. In the afternoon we have the Science Combined section and English. As the bell rings, the proctor starts collecting papers. Everyone stands up and stretches. After sitting all day, everyone is exhausted. Back in class, Sophie looks at me like she's looking at an idol. The few girls beside her all shout, "He's back!" Ethan Walker, the English essay actually was about environmental stuff. You really predicted it. I press my lips and smile. Just got lucky, that's all. Mia walks back into the classroom and happily tells Sophie how easily she wrote her English essay. Right then, the English teacher, who is also our homeroom teacher, walks back in. Ms. Lambert smiles from the podium. I won't hand out English papers this weekend. Also, an announcement. Not sure if you've heard, but First High is launching a creative writing contest. Many students deliberately turn around to glance at me in the back. Our school is not doing this kind of creative writing contest. We're doing something else. With just over 100 days left until the Gaokao, our school is setting up study groups, 4 students per group. We'll try to select 4 students who excel in different subjects, so everyone can help one another and teach what they're best at. Right then, I raise my hand. Ms. Lambert, I actually have an idea. The study group concept is being implemented at many schools, but the results are disappointing. I suggest we modify the 4-person group, make it flexible in size, and have students teach. If you find a session helpful, you listen. This way, everyone can play to their strengths and reinforce their own knowledge while teaching others. Students with weak areas can also choose more outstanding peer teachers instead of being limited to those in their own group. The moment I say this, many classmates nod. No wonder he's a top student. Hits the nail on the head. Friday's dismissal is filled with laughter. Clearly the arrival of the weekend has everyone in a great mood. But what comes next surprises me. The little rich girl Mia actually takes the bus home. No wonder classmates were dumbfounded after graduation. No one knew her family was that wealthy. In the blink of an eye, it's Saturday morning. I've arranged to meet Mia at Wanda Plaza at 2 in the afternoon. For this date, I prepare thoroughly. I buy 2 cups of milk tea and a delicate little bracelet as a gift. After a while, I spot a familiar figure approaching from a distance. The little rich girl wears a white dress holding a small white handbag. At 1.63 meters, wearing little heels, she has a very elegant look overall. Even with no makeup, not knowing how to apply it yet, and still wearing her glasses, you can already tell she's a beauty in the making. This is the first time I see her out of uniform. The little rich girl asks shyly, "Does it look good?" She nervously fidgets with her fingers. I burst out laughing. "It looks great. Here's your milk tea and a gift for you." Mia shakes her head as she takes them. I push the box right into her hands and smile. "Open it. If you don't like it, you can exchange it." Mia carefully opens the box. She freezes instantly. I smile and continue. "How is it? Let me help you put it on." Mia stands there blankly, and before she can react, the bracelet is already on her wrist. I take her hand and lead her into the mall. Clearly it's her first time holding hands with a boy. She tries shyly to pull away, but in the end she just lowers her head and obediently follows behind me, letting herself be led. We make our way up to the 4th floor of the mall. Since it's the weekend, the cinema is pretty crowded. Wait here for a moment. I'll go get the tickets. "Oh, do you want some popcorn?" The moment I ask, I realize the question is pointless, because Mia Bell is already staring straight at the popcorn of the kid next to her, drooling. But right at this moment, a familiar voice rings out. Ethan Walker! Kevin Park shouts excitedly. What are you doing here too? I turn around and find Kevin Park and two first-high classmates standing right behind me in line. We chat for a bit, then I carry the popcorn and orange juice back to Mia Bell and smile. Let's go, time to scan tickets. The moment Mia notices my first-high classmates, she freezes in panic. She buries her head shyly, terrified of being seen. Watching her adorably clueless reaction, I almost crack up. Honestly, even though Mia doesn't know how to do makeup, her bare face looks pretty good too. She's just unpopular in class because of her shy personality. Kevin Park and his friends start teasing the moment they see us. Tony Wong even sneaks a photo and posts it in their class group chat. The chat instantly explodes. Ethan Walker is such a player. Wasn't he supposed to like Jessica Lange? And now he's out with another girl watching a movie. Someone tags Jessica Lange in the chat. He used to like you. Why did he change his mind after transferring? Jessica Lange stays silent. She bites her lip and forwards the photo to Luna Knight. Oh my god, where did you take this? A guy in our class spotted them at the cinema. Honestly, that girl is the kind everyone makes fun of in our class. I can't believe Ethan Walker actually likes her. Luna then proceeds to tell Jessica everything about Mia and me. Meanwhile, Mia and I sit in a corner of the theater. I lean close and whisper in her ear. Is this your first time watching a movie with a boy? Mia nods blankly. Then she munches on the popcorn. It tastes really good. Her cluelessness genuinely cracks me up. Why never before? Did no one ask you out? Or did your family not allow it? Mia hesitates, then mouths the answer silently. Not allowed. So you snuck out today? Mia nods rapidly like a baby bird pecking grain. She even makes a deliberate shush gesture. So you have to go home for dinner tonight? Mia is stunned. She nods like it's obvious. Suddenly she tenses up and makes a defensive gesture, both hands covering her chest, staring at me warily. I almost die laughing. I meant, are you eating out first or going straight home for dinner? I'm not asking if you're going home tonight. Only now does Mia realize she misunderstood. Her ears turn pink with embarrassment. She lets out a quiet, oh. This little rich girl really is too cute. But it's a good thing. At least she knows how to protect herself so she won't be tricked easily by guys. The movie ends at 5:30. After parting ways with Mia, I don't head home right away. Instead, I send Kevin a message and arrange to grab dinner nearby. I smile. Honestly, I called you because I need a favor. Your cousin still works as a manager at the internet cafe, right? Kevin pauses. Huh? You need backup again? Who did you piss off this time? I shake my head and smile. No fights. I want to hire people to buy stuff from my online store so I can boost my sales numbers. I explain the commissions and how it works. The weekend flashes by. Kevin moves fast. He brings in over 30 people right off the bat. I'm busy from 3 in the afternoon until 7 at night, exhausted to the point of dizziness. Just as I'm about to take a break, the class group chat suddenly explodes. It's a message from Ms. Lambert. Class Jason Pierce's grandmother has been hospitalized for a brain hemorrhage and his father was in a car accident last week. The family is in a tough situation. I hope everyone can lend a helping hand to Jason Pierce. Next week I'll go with the class president to visit his grandmother at the hospital. I pause for a moment, then a thought strikes me. Better to teach a man to fish than to give him one. A donation won't add up to much, but if he helps me with work he can actually earn some money. So I get Jason's phone number from the homeroom teacher and call him to learn about his family situation and explain how to make money on the side. After hearing me out, Jason is completely won over. He wants to start the business with me right away. The next morning is all about reviewing the 4 school joint mock exam papers. After lunch, someone suddenly taps my shoulder. I look up and find Mr. Ross, the Chinese teacher, standing at the classroom door. He smiles. The 4 school joint mock exam results are out. You really pulled it off. Second High has only 2 perfect score essays in total and one of them is yours. Plus you ranked 4th in Chinese. My eyes light up. Not bad. But what do I do if I didn't get the school top spot? After all, I bragged earlier about telling the teacher to leave me alone in class. Mr. Ross then gives me a half smile. We'll see when the full results come out. By the way, that novel of yours, you're sure you wrote it yourself? No plagiarism? I nod. Mr. Ross smiles. No worries, just confirming. Tomorrow the Board of Education leaders are coming to inspect. First High started that creative writing contest, right? Our school isn't doing one, but we're planning to launch a literature club for the Year 2 students to develop reading and writing skills. The principal wants you to attend an open class as a student model and role model. Share your writing experience, how you got into writing, that kind of thing. The leaders may also come to observe. So if you have time tomorrow, prepare your novel's plot. Pick out some passages so your speech has some weight to it. Back in the classroom, Sophie. Jenkins looks up curiously. What did the teacher want? I smile slightly. Nothing much, just told me I ranked 4th in Chinese in the grade. Instantly the surrounding classmates crowd around in excitement. I tell them our school has only 2 perfect score essays in total, and I have one. Everyone looks at me with envy. Hey Ethan Walker, have you seen the school's creative writing contest from this past week? It's hilarious. They set up a popularity ranking with votes, and you'll never guess who's number 1. Greg Yates can barely contain his laughter. It's you. More precisely, your novel. The vote count completely crushes 2nd place. Number 2 through 10 combined still can't beat your votes. Meanwhile, in the office, Vice Principal Grant from First High is huffing in fury. He yells at Mr. Sullivan over the phone. Go look at what's happening online right now. All the others combined can't even match his vote count alone. This is absolutely ridiculous. Mr. Sullivan opens the page online and takes a look. He's stunned, speechless. The next 9 rankings combined cannot beat the first place's vote count. Mr. Sullivan stammers nervously. No, VP Grant, listen to me. This ranking is definitely inaccurate. It's meaningless. Ethan Walker already dropped out. He doesn't qualify under our contest rules at all, so this is not worth referencing. Vice Principal Grant laughs sarcastically. Sullivan, oh Sullivan, are you really this dense or just pretending? Does that matter? Look at how this looks right now. Immediately, right now, I want to see a novel that can match Ethan Walker's and knock him off the top spot. Mr. Sullivan takes a deep breath. Suddenly, an idea strikes him. Wait, VP Grant, I just had an idea. What if we get a teacher to write one and snatch the top spot away? What do you think? Vice Principal Grant hesitates, then asks back. You want a teacher to write it? Mr. Sullivan smiles. Ms. Liu has published a book before. She can definitely handle. Vice Principal Grant shakes his head. No way, that's just cheating. A teacher beating a student doesn't sit right, Mr. Sullivan laughs. Of course not Ms. Liu writing it directly. She'll mentor a student one-on-one. Vice Principal Grant waves his hand. Forget it. No need to make a fuss. The leaders probably already know about the kid's transfer, since the kid wrote about it himself. Just delete that ranking. Then we issue a formal statement, limiting entries to current students only. I open the first Hive form and take a look, then smile in surprise. Yeah, it's true. Let me see if I can leave a comment. But the moment I type a line and hit send, a notification pops up. The post is gone. Greg Yates pauses next to me. No way, let me see. Holy crap, this post really got deleted. I laugh. Of course it got deleted. With my book on the list, it definitely doesn't fit their rules. Right at this moment, someone shouts excitedly from the classroom door. The joint mock exam rankings are posted at the stairwell. Many students rush out. The teacher will hand out the score sheets in class anyway. What's the rush? Right, Miss Bell? I turn to look at Mia Bell. She nods rapidly, but still drags Sophie Jenkins along and squeezes through the crowd to check her score. You just nodded, though. Why did you still run over? I'm half amused, half exasperated. The bell finally rings. Miss Lambert speaks slowly. Everyone come back, stop looking. The board only shows the top 100 in the grade. If you can't find your name, you didn't make it. Several boys laugh. I knew it, no wonder I couldn't find mine. Once everyone is seated back in the classroom, Ms. Lambert smiles from the podium. Whoever I call, come up and get your score sheet. Ethan Walker, 136 points, first in class, third in grade. Luna Knight, 136 points, tied for first in class, tied for third in grade. No wonder he's a first high top student, ranks first the moment he arrives. Everyone looks at me with envy. These are your English score sheets. The teachers for each subject will bring scores during class. But as your homeroom teacher, I have a surprise for you. The grade-wide top score in Chinese is in our class. The class erupts in excitement. Sophie Jenkins turns back to look at me. I wave my hand. Not me, I'm fourth. But the next second, Ms. Lambert smiles. It's you, Ethan Walker. Instantly, every student turns to look at me. Didn't he just say he was fourth? A few classmates overheard what I said earlier. Ms. Lambert looks puzzled. Who said he was fourth in the grade? A classmate laughs. The Chinese teacher came by earlier, seems like he said fourth. Ms. Lambert immediately corrects, he is the grade's number 1. Thunderous applause breaks out. Even Mia Bell looks at me with admiration. I rub my nose and smile. Just lucky. I can't exactly say this is my second time taking it, right? Ms. Lambert smiles. Alright, when the Chinese teacher comes in next class, he'll go over Ethan Walker's perfect score essay with you. Meanwhile, in a first high classroom, the Chinese teacher is handing out test papers. Students who get theirs immediately start chattering. Holy crap, you're amazing, 53 on the essay. The Chinese teacher suddenly sighs. I really don't know what to say about this exam. I gave you the essay topic in advance, and yet, a bunch of you are still getting 45 or 48 on the essay. The teacher suddenly turns to Kevin Park. How did you do? Kevin lowers his head awkwardly. Sir, not so well. Teach. What a waste. You used to sit with Ethan Walker. Kevin defends himself. Ethan Walker isn't great at Chinese either. Ms. Liu, the Chinese teacher, replies calmly. Originally, since he transferred, there's no need to track him, but the kid is genuinely impressive. He ranked 4th in Chinese in the 4-school joint mock exam, and his essay got a perfect score. Kevin's jaw drops. No way, Ms. Liu. I remember Ethan Walker wasn't good at Chinese. Did he hack the system at second high or something? Ms. Liu rolls her eyes and laughs. Maybe he works harder at second high than he did here. Kevin is half amused, half exasperated. Hard work, my ass. The dude messes around in group chats, runs a store selling Mogu lingerie, and goes on movie dates with girls. As the final bell rings, I stand by the stairwell looking at the rankings posted in the hallway. Sophie and Mia stand beside me. Wow, amazing. First in Chinese, third in math, third in English. Only science combined was a bit weak. Total score ranks 10th in the grade. Sophie says enviously, if you brought up the science combined score a bit, you'd be even better. In my last life, my weakness was Chinese. Strength was science combined and math, with English in the middle. But chemistry and biology and science combined have a lot of hard knowledge to memorize, and I forgot all of it after graduation. So getting this score after rebirth is already pretty good. The Chinese, math, and English scores far exceed what I got before. Mia points at her own name and tugs on me, signaling for me to look. Mia Bell ranks 41st in the grade. Her delicate pale finger points at her science combined score, and she looks at me with a hint of pride, as if showing off. I smile slightly. Oh, did pretty well. I instinctively pinch her nose and say, bring your score up. Don't go to Modu Conservatory of Music. Go to Yanjing Conservatory of Music. That way you can see me. Sophie asks in surprise, you're going to Yanjing for college? Which school? I answer matter-of-factly, Tsinghua, or Peking of course. Hearing this, Mia asks blankly, how do you know I'm going to Modu Conservatory of Music? Based on my memories from the last life, I clearly remember the little rich girl went to Modu Conservatory of Music. While it's a top-tier art school in the country, as a reborn person, I'm definitely aiming for the absolute most prestigious universities because the diploma, the social circles, and future development are all completely different. Besides, the Gaokao is what I'm most confident about right now. After the Gaokao, I lose that edge. During these college years, I can still leverage my knowledge of the future for business ventures. Once these years pass, the difficulty of changing one's life multiplies infinitely. So every day right now is critical for me. Writing novels would have been the most reliable path, since I know which works will be hits later. But relying on memory alone, I might not be able to perfectly recreate the classics. Right now, with a little rich girl's funding, I realize e-commerce might be an easier shortcut to success. The next morning, the moment I arrive at school, I get a call from Mr. Ross asking me to come to the office. I rush back to the classroom, drop my backpack, and find another breakfast on my desk. Just then, Luna Knight runs over with a smile. I bought it for you. Why did you buy it again? Then she leans in and whispers playfully in my ear, Mogu lingerie. I burst out laughing and head back to my seat. Yesterday, she accidentally saw Jason Pierce's WeChat moments showing him packing shipments, so she messaged him privately. She had no idea until she asked just how much had been going on without her knowing. I laugh, amused. Don't spread it. Luna walks over happily and takes my breakfast away, then eat mine. And no giving it to Mia anymore, or I'll tell everyone your secret. I raise my eyebrow and tease. Are you threatening me? Luna replies in a playful tone. I just want you to eat the breakfast I bought. I know you gave the last one to Mia on purpose, and I know you two went to a movie on Saturday. How am I worse than her? Why can't you give me a chance? She's always liked top students, and after the 4-school joint mock exam, she's even more interested in me. Even though we share a grade school friend she once pursued, she doesn't care. After all, Jessica Lane said they were never together. Just a bit of flirting, and especially now she's been blocked. What really gets to Luna is that she's prettier than Mia, more eloquent and more proactive. Why can't she beat that dazed girl? I immediately respond. Sure, if you block Jessica Lane and get into Tsinghua or Peking University, if you can do that, I'll consider it. The first period bell rings. Mr. Nash, the physics teacher, walks into the classroom. You've all seen your scores. Now take out your papers. By the way, where is Ethan Walker? I raise my hand. Right here, sir. You're targeting me, aren't you, kid? You ace Chinese, math, and English, but science combined isn't up to par. With that, Mr. Nash starts going through the test paper. He's clearly the highly efficient type of teacher. By the second period, I see leaders inspecting the school. They come to our classroom door and ask, the student who transferred here from First High that you mentioned, he's in this class, right? Then Dean Price walks over with a smile, greets Mr. Nash, then calls out, Ethan Walker, are you here? Come out for a moment. I stand up, instantly drawing every classmate's gaze. I walk slowly out of the classroom and politely nod to the teachers. Hello, sir. Dean Price says to me, don't be nervous. This is Director Song from the Provincial Board of Education, and these are all leaders from the board. Director Song laughs warmly. You're the one who wrote Campus Dropout on the First High forum, right? Not bad, not bad. I heard you transferred from First High, so you must know both schools well, and your grades are good too, right? Apparently because of that, Dean Price quickly cuts in. A fight. This kid has a hot temper, but his grades are excellent. Top 10 in the grade at First High and top 10 in the grade at Second High in the 4-school joint mock exam. Director Song smiles. Fighting is definitely wrong. Let me ask you one question. What do you think is the biggest difference between First High and Second High? Which school has a better learning atmosphere? The moment he finishes, Dean Price freezes. He looks at me nervously. I pause briefly, then speak. Well, it's like this. I think First High has more academic pressure, but I prefer Second High. Hearing this, Dean Price flashes a wide 8-tooth grin. Oh, can you be more specific about why you prefer Second High? Studying at First High, it felt like I wasn't studying for myself, but for the school, for my parents, for the so-called duty of not letting them down. This mindset puts huge pressure on students, and creates a sense of resentment too. For example, when I was at First High, my homeroom teacher said more than once, and the dean said the same thing, don't disappoint your parents' expectations, right now studies are the most important thing. Think about how hard your parents worked to send you to First High, how you absolutely must repay them. I think filial piety is important, and so is repaying your parents, but constantly drilling this concept into students is harmful to teenage mental development. We end up studying for others. But at Second High, it's different. At First High, PE class was free time, but many students would still return to the classroom to study, so students' physical health and fitness suffered a lot. At Second High, PE class requires you to run 800 meters. After that, those who want to play, play. Those who want to rest, rest. It seems less academically intense than First High, but it better fits the principle of balancing work and rest. In my view, Second High's educational philosophy is fundamentally different from First High's. First High may have a slight edge in test scores, but in terms of all-around moral, intellectual, physical, and aesthetic development, including post-graduation outcomes, Second High students may end up doing better. Sir, I haven't been at Second High for long, this is just my personal view. The board leaders nod in agreement. Wonderfully said. This kid is a writer for a reason, his logic, theory, and word choice are all extremely rigorous. A leader half-jokingly says to Dean Price, if we hadn't pulled this kid out on a whim, I'd think you had a prearranged speech. He just laid out the pros and cons of First High and Second High very clearly. Dean Price laughs warmly. That's definitely impossible. Ethan Walker is genuinely outstanding, and more mature in thought than the average student. In this 4-school joint mock exam, his essay also earned a rare perfect score. Strong expressive ability. Dean Price pats my shoulder with great satisfaction. His impression of me improves further, so smooth with words. It sounds like he's praising Second High, but not too obviously. and ending with "I haven't been here long" makes it feel humble to the leaders, not like one-sided flattery. Another board leader pushes up his glasses and laughs heartily. Oh right, there's one more thing. The province is selecting a school as the provincial key demonstration school. The evaluation covers learning environment, college admission rate, faculty quality, and other school conditions. Right now, First High fits the criteria better. If you were voting, which school would you vote for? I deliberately scratch my head, pretending to struggle. Sir, I'll be honest. Whichever school I'm at, I hope that one wins. So I'd vote for Second High. Several leaders laugh heartily. Haha, fair enough. Everyone wants their alma mater to win. Right then, I summon my courage. Sir, can I take a photo with you all? It's like this. I'm a bit vain. I want to brag to others that the leaders chatted with me. The board leaders are completely cracked up by this. This kid is too funny. We aren't celebrities. What's there to brag about? I explain innocently, but I think being a board of education leader is incredibly impressive. The leaders find him quite endearing. Plus he's praised them like they're celebrities. A photo to brag about? They laugh. Fine, we'll take one. By the way, kid, your novel is well written too. Keep at it. Aim to become a great writer one day. I immediately take a couple of photos with them and post them to my own WeChat moments. So great, the board of education leaders praised me, and even asked me which is better, First High or Second High. In the afternoon, Jason Pierce, who had been on leave, returns to class. Many of his friends crowd around to check on him. Jason explains briefly, then slumps onto his desk. Right then, Leo Carter whispers next to him. While you were gone, Ethan Walker was a total badass. He recounts everything that happened during Jason's absence, even the part about Luna buying me breakfast. I suddenly grab an unopened bottle of milk and toss it over with a smile. Just bought it. How's it going? Jason catches the milk, then drags me out of the classroom and deliberately walks to the far end of the hallway for a private chat. The surrounding classmates are stunned. Wait, when did those two get so close? Sophie can't help but ask Mia gossipy questions. Weren't those two supposed to fight? How are they suddenly chatting like friends? Mia just shakes her head blankly. Even Luna is stunned. Those two are actually laughing together. The results are really good now, lots of real customers coming in. I calculated yesterday we sold 36 orders. After chatting about the current state of the store, I pat his shoulder playfully. Oh, by the way, you should hurry up and ask Luna out, otherwise she keeps bothering me. Jason lowers his head and laughs awkwardly. It's not that I don't want to. You've seen it, I've tried every approach, and it feels like she still prefers guys like you who are smart and have great grades. I smile slightly. Bring up your scores so you outperform her, and maybe she'll start chasing you instead. Jason can't even imagine Luna chasing him. Trust me, Luna isn't that hard to win over. The point isn't chasing, the point is becoming strong enough that she looks up to you. During lunch, I open WeChat moments and immediately laugh. Especially the photo with the board leaders, which is flooded with likes. Killer, the board of education leaders even asked you which school is better. No wonder you're still stealing the spotlight at Second High. Even Kevin sends a separate message. Just saw your moments while eating. I suspect you did this on purpose, so I screenshot it and reposted on my own moments. Good bro, you killed it. Just then Stacy Quinn, the arts committee rep, walks over. Mia, are you signing up for the talent show the teacher mentioned? Mia shakes her head stiffly and keeps her head down eating. Stacy Quinn hesitates. But you played so well last time. I feel like you're the most impressive talent in our class. It would be such a loss if you don't join. Don't you want to show Ethan Walker your piano skills? Mia blushes bright red. I burst out laughing. It's fine, only sign up if you want to, no one can force you. Stacy Quinn deliberately whispers something into Mia's ear, then Mia bites her lip and softly says, Okay, I'll sign up. Stacy claps with joy. Ha ha ha, amazing. What about you, Ethan Walker? Mia's signing up. This is your last year of high school. If you have talent, don't hide it. I get it now, this arts committee rep is good at sweet talking. And whatever she whispered to the little rich girl, she actually managed to persuade her. I respond, we'll see. If the class really has no sign-ups, I can step up. Stacy Quinn smiles happily. Then I don't care. I'm counting it as you signed up. What's your talent? The corners of my mouth lift. I deliberately glance at Mia and notice she looks curious and expectant. Only then do I answer, magic tricks. Meanwhile, in the First High cafeteria, several teachers are having lunch. Mr. Sullivan, remember Ethan Walker from your class? I heard he's making a name for himself at Second High. Even the board of education leaders took photos with him. Does he have connections at home or something? Mr. Sullivan, homeroom teacher of class 2, senior year 3, frowns slightly. What do you mean, board of education leaders? Mr. Jensen sitting nearby laughs. You don't know. I only saw it because my student reposted it. Mr. Sullivan then sees my WeChat moments post. He's stunned, speechless. I really had no idea. He never heard the kid had this kind of connection. His heart sinks immediately. This isn't going to blow up, is it? He hurriedly finishes eating and asks anxiously, Mr. Jensen, can you forward me this photo? The moment Mr. Sullivan rushes out of the cafeteria, the remaining teachers can't help but gossip and dish. I heard this Ethan Walker dropped out after fighting with him. If the kid really has connections, his senior teacher application might be in serious trouble. You guys don't know? Actually, the student who fought Ethan Walker is. Meanwhile, Mr. Sullivan arrives at the dean's office. Dean Hall frowns and examines the photo. They are indeed senior leaders, and the background looks like it's inside Second High. He then calls a friendly teacher at Second High to find out what happened. After hanging up, Dean Hall has a complicated expression. The leaders know the student transferred from First High, and they deliberately pulled him out of class to ask about the differences between the two schools. The kid said whichever school he attends, he hopes that school wins the demonstration school title. Mr. Sullivan finally breathes a sigh of relief and returns to his office. But right then, the dean's office phone rings. After taking the call, Dean Hall is completely shaken. The principal personally called to order that all senior year 3 classes must hold PE class, and during class students aren't allowed to return to the classroom. They have to stay outside for exercise. What really chills him is that a Board of Education leader tipped them off, saying second high does this better than first high. Dean Hall is genuinely scared. He never imagined one student could nearly cause this much trouble. If this really affected first high's chances at the demonstration school title, the consequences would be devastating. Then an idea strikes Dean Hall. He pulls up my parents' phone number and calls. Hello, are you Ethan Walker's parent? I'm the dean from First High, we met once before. Your child's file is still at our school. I'd like to visit and check in on how he's doing after the transfer. Could you send me your address and I'll bring it to your home? I'm mainly worried his grades may have suffered from the transfer, so I'd like to chat about his situation. Even though he dropped out, he's still a former First High student. I'll visit your home this weekend. I just got home from school when I overhear this. I smile slightly. Dad, you really think this kind of thing happens in real life? I find it strange too, but he emphasized several times that he'd bring it himself, saying since you came from First High, he wants to understand how you're doing at Second High. I pull out my phone while eating and hand it to Dad. Mr. Walker glances at his son's WeChat moments in surprise. You took a photo with Board of Education leaders? Could it be that the First High Dean wants to see you because of this? I nod in confirmation. After dinner, I head back to my room, which is the perfect time to post a new chapter of my novel. The next morning at school, I catch some major gossip. Apparently someone took the Zhongda joint entrance exam and got into Zhongda University without needing the Gaokao. I muttered to myself. Better to just study hard and take the Gaokao. Back in the classroom, the moment I sit down, I hear Leo Carter announce excitedly. Great news, everyone! Yours truly is going to Zhongda University. The crowd surrounds him. Don't tell me you took the joint entrance exam? Leo smiles smugly. How did you know? My dad just messaged me, haha, the Gaokao is just a formality now. Many gasp in amazement. Wait, how did you pass? Leo replies with a grin. That's a secret I can't share. I burst out laughing and crook my finger at Leo. He proudly takes Sophie Jenkins' seat. What's up, top student, jealous? Maybe we'll end up at the same school. I haven't decided on a major yet. I lean in and whisper, if you're lucky, there's still time. Leo looks shocked. What the hell? You mean I got scammed? How is that possible? We took the exam in the Zhongda campus's digital classroom, organized by the school itself. How could it be fake? I sigh and shake my head, then look up the Zhongda admissions office number. Here, look at this number. Leo says smugly, my dad already called. The corners of my mouth lift. I smirk. Your dad called the number from a flyer they were handing out. Of course it'll check out fine. You need to look up Zhongda's official website online, but it's still early. No one may answer yet. Wait until 9 o'clock and call again. Meanwhile, in Class 2, Senior Year 3 at First High, Jessica Lane cheers excitedly while holding a Zhongda admissions list. Out of 201 students, the school admitted 21, and she's one of them. She even invites everyone to her place for a feast and party. However, Kevin Park is a bit shocked. How could Jessica possibly pass the Zhongda joint entrance exam? Something feels off, so he immediately messages me. I reply calmly, haha, what a coincidence. A classmate of mine also got admitted, but he's already crying right now. Kevin reads the message and looks up. The classmates are already crowding around Jessica congratulating her. Kevin can't help but speak up with a hesitant laugh. This might come off harsh, but is there any chance this is fake? The room freezes. Jessica frowns. Kevin, what are you implying? Kevin shakes his head. I mean, is it possible Zhongda doesn't even have a joint entrance exam? Jessica scoffs. How could that be? We took the exam at Zhongda's campus, everyone paid the fees, and we had to take a registration exam first. Only those who passed the registration exam could take the joint entrance exam, and the joint exam was very strict. Didn't you hear what I said earlier? Less than 1 in 10 got admitted. Jessica's good friend chimes in with a laugh. Right, how could it be fake? You're just jealous. Let me tell you, Kevin, you'll never get into Zhongda in your life. Kevin originally didn't want to be too harsh, but Cindy Lloyd's comment crosses a line. He says directly, I just asked Ethan Walker and he said the Zhongda joint entrance exam is fake. The room goes blank. The next moment, Cindy grits her teeth. Who does Ethan Walker think he is? He's definitely jealous too. Jealous of our Jessica. I always thought he wasn't a good person. He started the fight, got disciplined, and dragged Jessica down with him. Just then a classmate suggests, why don't we just call Zhongda's admissions office? If she's really admitted, they should be able to confirm. Jessica quickly finds a photo on her phone. The bottom right corner shows the Zhongda admissions office number. Hello, is this the Zhongda admissions office? The whole class listens nervously. This is the Zhongda admissions office. How can I help you? Cindy quickly speaks up. I want to ask, did your school hold a joint entrance exam, an early exam where you can be admitted without taking the Gaokao? The voice on the line politely smiles. Oh yes, there is such a thing, but spots are limited, and it's already over now. The room erupts. Cindy and Jessica don't forget to mock Kevin. You and Ethan Walker are just jealous. You didn't get in, so you call ours fake. Kevin is also confused. Wait, Ethan Walker clearly said it's fake, so why does the call confirm it? Kevin frowns. Something must be off. He immediately searches online for Zhongda's admissions office number, then calls during break. The reply he gets is, Zhongda has not held any joint entrance exam, and there's no such thing as early admission. The fees you paid, you've definitely been scammed. Report it to the police immediately. Our school leaders have already started investigating. Kevin laughs. The number they called must be fake. He returns to the classroom. Mr. Sullivan happens to be at the podium going over problems. Sir, I'm not sure if I should mention this. I just made a call. And Jongda says they didn't hold any joint entrance exam. It's a scam. Mr. Sullivan frowns. What scam? What Jongda joint entrance exam? Who told you Jongda holds one? Kevin laughs amused. I didn't say it. Someone in our class said they got early admission to Jongda. Cindy snaps back exasperated. Sir, Kevin is just jealous of Jessica. She already called and confirmed. Why is he still on this? Kevin laughs. Jealous of what? I called and confirmed there's no such joint entrance exam, and they said the exam fees you paid were stolen by scammers. The reason you took the exam on Jongda's campus is because they originally partnered with the education agency, and they didn't expect this kind of fraud. The school leadership has already reported it to police, and you're still here calling me jealous. Jealous my ass, Jessica says, exasperated. Didn't we just call and ask? Why are you being so annoying? Did Ethan Walker say something to you again? Mr. Sullivan was a bit dazed before, but the moment he hears the name Ethan Walker, he snaps awake. What? This involves Ethan Walker? What's going on? Kevin then explains the whole situation. Mr. Sullivan frowns. There's definitely a problem because as far as I know, Jongda doesn't hold any joint entrance exam. If it did, I'd definitely have told you all. Jessica feels totally wronged. Sir, we just called the Jongda admissions office and they said it was real. I can't believe she trusts whatever Ethan Walker says. Cindy adds angrily. Right, if Ethan Walker told you to eat dirt, would you eat dirt? Kevin sneers. None of your damn business. I tried to give a heads up out of kindness and got cursed at. He turns around and kicks the door open, walking out. Seeing this, Mr. Sullivan shouts loudly. What's with all this shouting? I'll make a call to check. Then Mr. Sullivan pulls out his phone and inquires about the Jongda joint entrance exam. After hanging up, Mr. Sullivan has a complicated expression. Jessica, come out. I just asked, and there really is a Jongda joint entrance exam thing. Jessica laughs happily. I told you there was, but the next moment Mr. Sullivan keeps a stern face. But it's fake. From what I now understand, Jongda doesn't actually hold any joint entrance exam admissions, but there are indeed many people who took this so-called joint entrance exam. Some training agencies are using the Jongda joint entrance exam name to scam money. I heard the registration fee is very expensive, right? Jessica's eyes turn red, and she chokes up. Sir, how can it be fake? But I don't know either. My mom paid the money. Jessica tearfully explains the whole story. Mr. Sullivan is half amused, half exasperated. There's no such thing as a free lunch in this world. Meanwhile, at Second High, the police have already arrived. Leo Carter explains everything in detail. Ms. Lambert also gathers victims from other classes and has the parents go to the police station together to claim their rights. Leo finally returns to the classroom dejected, unable to even face his classmates. He just talked a big game, and it turned out to be fake. Sophie Jenkins and a few girls huddled together gossiping. I heard someone at First High also found out it was fake. They didn't believe it at first, and there was a fight in class. I pull out my phone and see a message from Kevin. Damn, this feels good. Watching Jessica cry her way out of the office is so satisfying. You have no idea, Jessica and Cindy just pissed me off so much earlier, I might as well drop out. Ha 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 ha, Second High welcomes you. Honestly, if I could be in the same class as you at Second High, I'd really consider it. It's so boring here. I then tell Kevin about the dean coming to my house on Saturday to deliver my file, and invite a few close friends over for a small gathering on Saturday. Kevin instantly explodes. Didn't the dean fight with you? Plus you beat up his son, and he's still personally delivering your file? In the afternoon, Mr. Ross comes to the classroom. Ethan Walker, everything's ready. Head to the digital reading room shortly, second floor, room 302. Don't be late. A crowd gathers curiously. Why is the teacher calling you to the digital reading room? I explained slowly that the school is holding some kind of open class and invited me as a student guest to share my creative journey. Honestly, at first I thought it was just an open class, nothing major, just bluff my way through. But once I actually arrive at room 302 on the second floor, I realize the place is packed. All year 1 and year 2 juniors. Mr. Ross smiles next to me. You're here. The Board of Education leaders and our school leaders will all come to observe. The open class will be filmed and recorded. Don't be nervous, just follow my lead. A few minutes later, the bell rings. Mr. Ross stands at the podium with a microphone and smiles. Today's open class is on how to make reading and writing your hobby. Many people say they don't like reading, don't like writing essays, right? Anyone here who says they love reading? Raise your hand and let me see. Standing in the guest position, I raise my hand and smile. Me, as long as it's not a textbook, I love reading anything. The whole room bursts into laughter, and the atmosphere lifts immediately. The board leaders whisper to each other, joking around. It's this kid again? This kid really is interesting. Mr. Ross smiles. All right, don't listen to his nonsense. He reads way more than any of you. To help us develop good reading habits and writing skills, our school is officially establishing the Literature Club. He then introduces the Literature Club. Joining the club lets everyone share their favorite books, novels, literary magazines, extracurricular readings, and more. You can find like-minded friends and improve your reading and writing while relaxing. Let me ask, how many of you have read Campus Dropout on the Second High Forum? Raise your hands. The juniors all raise their hands. Mr. Ross smiles. See, you do love reading, just not textbooks. He smiles slightly again. So who knows who wrote Campus Dropout? Discussion ripples through the room. He continues smoothly with a smile. Now please welcome our Literature Club's special guest, Ethan Walker, author of Campus Dropout. From Class 4, Senior Year 3, please come to the stage. Thunderous applause breaks out. The students below all stare wide-eyed at me on stage. The moment I step up, the whole room erupts. Hello everyone. I'm Ethan Walker from Class 4, Senior Year 3. I goof off, don't love studying, please don't follow my example. Look at the big screen. This is my 4-school joint mock exam score sheet. I put my score sheet right on the PPT, opening with my star student scores on full display. I stand on the stage and smile. Why do I show my scores first? Does any junior know the answer? Raise your hand. Soon a boy gathers courage and raises his hand. Senior, you want to tell us that you write novels not because you're wasting your potential, but because your grades are already great. And since your Chinese and math scores are both high, your novel has both good writing and strong logic. I laugh, amused. Wrong, completely wrong. The reason I show my scores first is just to show off, to tell you all that the person standing on this stage is your senior, whose scores are way ahead of yours. So tell me, am I a beast or what? The students below instantly erupt. Beast, absolute beast! Mr. Ross panics. He grabs the microphone and laughs. Hey, watch your language, especially you, Ethan Walker, what are you saying? The leaders are watching. The students laugh. The leaders shake their heads, half amused, half exasperated. The principal even proactively explains to the nearby leaders. I continue smiling. Okay, back to the main topic. Bragging aside, since I'm invited as the Literature Club's guest to share my creative journey and so-called insights, I have to give you all some real takeaways. Here's a mantra you can write down. It's just 3 lines. Do simple things repeatedly. Do repeated things persistently. Do persistent things joyfully. What does do simple things repeatedly mean? Why do I tell you to do simple things instead of tackling difficult ones? Anyone know? 2 girls raise their hands, but I shift gears with a smile. Stop raising hands, I'm not going to let you answer. The bragging, I have to do it myself. More laughter erupts. The students laugh. I narrow my eyes and smile. There's a saying, everyone has their gift, born with talent must have use. Everyone has their own strengths. Some excel at sports, some at painting, some at music, and some at bragging. So here's the question. In the field you're good at, doesn't the work seem simple? For example, scoring 140 in Chinese, is that hard? The juniors shout, hard! I cluck my tongue and laugh. What's simple for me is hard for you. What is this? This is talent. The students are completely entertained. Even the board leaders can't help laughing. They shake their heads and whisper to one another. This kid really has a way with words. I continue. Do simple things repeatedly. Doesn't mean every simple thing, but things that are challenging for others yet relatively simple for you. These are the things you should repeat. Don't think they're boring, dull, or unchallenging, because the moment you abandon these so-called simple things to chase difficult ones, you essentially abandon your innate talent and throw away your true strength. The leader's eyes light up. This perspective is genuinely interesting. As my speech continues, thunderous applause breaks out from the students. Even Mr. Ross can't help but nod. No wonder he's the perfect score literary star student. Even the Board of Education leaders and the principal in the back row laugh and applaud. Brilliantly said. Much better than what I heard at the past several schools from those teachers. After the open class, the leaders smile as they leave, repeatedly praising my talent. I instantly gain a lot of fans across the school. Several girls gather courage to come up and ask for my contact info, but I wave them off and decline. Mr. Ross then praises me on the side. Kid, you're impressive. The principal says this open class will be recorded and posted on the Second High official website for promotion. Too bad you're already in senior year 3, otherwise the literature club president position would have been yours. Sure enough, that same night the video of my speech is posted on the school forum, even pinned and highlighted. A flood of Second High students rushes in to watch the video, leaving all kinds of comments. So you really wrote the novel? I'd have your babies. But no one realizes this senior year 3 student, envied by so many classmates, is at this very moment doing something his peers wouldn't dare imagine. Because I'm hiding in my room, picking out new Mogu lingerie designs, preparing for a big Christmas promotion. But the upfront investment has nearly drained Mia Bell's savings. The $280,000 is down to just over $50,000 now. The next day, while taking the bus to school, I unexpectedly run into 2 familiar faces. I look at the figure that left such a deep mark on my last life. I ask, did you get the Zhangda money back? Wow, how can people be so cruel these days? Jessica Lane lowers her head and walks slowly toward me, whispering, I'm sorry, thank you for warning us, otherwise we might not have caught on this quickly. Just then, the bus jolts. Jessica grabs my arm to steady herself. She looks at me with pitiful eyes and softly says, Are you free on Christmas? I know you must still be angry, but I want to treat you to dinner and apologize, okay? She lifts her head and blinks her big eyes. I have to admit, Jessica is genuinely a very pretty girl. Her wide-eyed and helpless tone even leaves the boys on the bus stunned, but it has no effect on me. I frown and reply, not free. Jessica shakes my arm playfully. Come on, I know I was wrong, don't be mad anymore. Cindy Lloyd also pleads from the side. Look, Jessica's already apologized, give her a chance. Guys shouldn't be so petty. Honestly, with these 2 pulling this routine, a softer-hearted guy might genuinely fall for it. Who knows how much POA gaslighting I endured in my last life. When I finally found out that Jessica was with Brad Stone and even getting married, I completely fell apart. Looking at this so-called first love class queen now, I genuinely feel nothing. In fact, aside from Jessica's decent looks, she gives me less of an impression than Luna Knight, so I firmly refuse and step right off the bus. Since Christmas is coming, I write a note and pass it to Mia Bell. The note reads just one word. Mia stares at it and is instantly speechless. Just then, Jason Pierce suddenly cheers excitedly. Killer! The chatting classmates jump in surprise. Jason rushes over, pulls out his phone, logs into the store's seller backend, his eyes unable to hide his excitement. Look, the Christmas main product is selling like crazy. Tons of people are messaging about when stock arrives. I say slowly, this is just the beginning. Reply uniformly, say standard shipping arrives in 3 to 4 days, express delivery is next day, but they pay shipping. Jason grits his teeth. I'll take half a day off. With this many customers asking, my sister can't keep up. An idea strikes me. I have a plan. We head to the teacher's office and knock on the door. Ms. Lambert turns and sees Jason and me walking in. What is it? Fighting again? Ms. Lambert, I'd like to apply to borrow a school computer or use the digital reading room. Ms. Lambert frowns and turns to ask, what do you need a computer for? For something unrelated to studies, but I can guarantee Jason will pass the top-tier university cutoff in the first mock exam. Jason is completely stunned. He nervously pulls me aside and whispers, top-tier cutoff? How? I can't do that. Watching this, Ms. Lambert laughs and immediately teases, look, even he doesn't believe you. And you expect me to? If you said you could pass the cutoff, fine, but how is Jason going to? His English is weak, his Chinese is behind too. Wait, everything he's weak in, you're strong in, right? You're going to tutor him. Ms. Lambert, not only will I tutor him, I'll make sure he passes the top-tier cutoff in the first mock exam. Ms. Lambert rolls her eyes at this kid and laughs teasingly. It's not your call to make, what if he doesn't make it? And what exactly do you want the computer for? Jason grits his teeth. Forget it, Ms. Lambert, I'll take half a day off, say there's a family matter. Ms. Lambert is dumbfounded. What's going on with these two? Can't you two just explain why you need the computer? If I don't approve this, you'll take leave, and if I don't approve that either, are you going to skip class? Jason responds, yes, if you don't approve, I'll have no choice. Ms. Lambert stands up in frustration. She drags us both into the hallway to scold us. Ethan Walker, you explain first what's going on. If you can't explain it clearly, don't even bother going to class until you do. Jason is also confused. He has no idea what I'm planning, and I even claim I'll get him to pass the top-tier cutoff in the first mock exam. He's still 40 or 50 points away from the second-tier cutoff. Right then, I suddenly speak. Ms. Lambert, I can tell you, but you have to keep it secret. Ms. Lambert sighs helplessly. Fine, I promise, spill it. The next moment, I open my Mogu lingerie store and hand her the phone. The moment Ms. Lambert sees the Mogu lingerie, her face turns red. She scolds, you kid, looking at this stuff, she's completely thrown. Sneaking peeks is one thing, but showing it to the teacher? Jason's eyes go wide too. Holy crap, no way, showing the teacher. How can you do that? It takes me over 10 minutes to explain the whole story. Ms. Lambert sighs in surprise. You really shocked me. So young, why open a store of all things? And selling that kind of product. Thinking about those Mogu lingerie photos, even she as an adult feels her cheeks flush. It's hard to imagine this kid is actually the store owner. If Jason had done this, she'd still be shocked, but at least understandable. But it's me, the model student, doing this, and the contrast is just too jarring. I respond with a smile. Ms. Lambert, this doesn't violate any school rules, so whether you approve or not, Jason will take leave anyway. I think it's better to give him a computer and let him stay at school so he can use the 15-minute breaks, lunch, and meal times. This way his studies are minimally affected. I know this isn't standard procedure. If I were at first high, I wouldn't dare say this. But this is second high, and my homeroom teacher is you. Ms. Lambert bursts out laughing. What about me? Does that mean I'll definitely agree? I answer firmly, yes. I trust you, Ms. Lambert. You're a teacher who genuinely puts students first in the truest sense. Ms. Lambert is half amused, half exasperated. Alright, don't put me on such a pedestal. Your sweet talking is really something else. I can bring an extra one from home. Just come find me at the office during break. The issue is, what if other people ask? And the products your store sells, it wouldn't be good for other students or teachers to see. She rolls her eyes at me. An idea strikes me. The library. Park the computer in the library, and Jason can head straight there during breaks. Ms. Lambert frowns and hesitates. Possible, sure, but I still feel uncomfortable about this. But she understands Jason's family situation. I push Jason's head down, and we both bow deeply. Thank you, Ms. Lambert. Seeing this, Ms. Lambert is out of options. She sighs. Fine, let's do it. On Thursday, I open the seller back end, and revenue has surpassed 300,000. While Jason is still buzzing with excitement, I say, half amused, half exasperated. Don't get too excited. We have another problem. 300,000 in orders means we need to front the cash for inventory before shipping, otherwise how do we ship? Jason finally panics. Right. I was just about to mention that. I just tried. The system says my bank card has no funds, so a lot of orders can't be drop shipped. What do we do? I'll figure something out. Wait for my word. I know Jason can't help here, since any money he had was already borrowed for hospital bills and the car accident compensation. What now? Come clean to my parents, tell them their son is making it big now, hundreds of thousands in daily revenue? I immediately reject the idea. Right then, Mia suddenly sends a message. What are you up to? My eyes flicker, and I reply, thinking about a certain someone. Do you have any more money? Mia replies, I don't have any, I gave it all to you. Reading the message, my mind goes blank. I have no idea what to do, since I already drained her savings. But 10 minutes later, Mia sends another message with a string of numbers. The moment I see it, 2 words escape my mouth, absolute legend. I stole my dad's card, there should be money on it. My head buzzes. Now I finally understand why Mia got scammed by sleazy guys in my last life. She's just too clueless. How can a girl be this cute and clueless, even stealing her family's bank card? I reply, what if they find out? Will they call the cops on me? No way, my dad has tons of cards. He probably won't notice one missing. Just deposit the money back when he eventually finds out. I'm seriously about to cry from being touched. If I don't cherish this little rich girl, I'm a total idiot. I immediately rush to the bank ATM outside, tap the card insertion menu, then select balance inquiry. If I hadn't checked, I wouldn't have known. One look and I'm shocked. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions. The card has 1,450,000 on it. I swallow hard. That means counting everything from the little rich girl's full savings, I've taken nearly 2 million from her. Friday morning I take the bus back to the school gate and bring breakfast for Mia. Back in the classroom after waiting a while, Mia and Sophie finally walk in. I lean close to Mia and whisper, "Too many eyes watching, otherwise I'd feed you myself." Mia blushes and lowers her head, munching away. 2 math periods later, Leo Carter grabs a basketball and rallies a few classmates to head out for a break. Jason responds, "You guys go, I'm heading to the library." He grabs some books and worksheets and heads out. The crowd reacts, "Yeah, right." But Jason really does go to the library. Everyone is stunned. Not only that, every break afterward, as long as he has time, Jason heads to the library to study. This dramatic shift makes the classmates question reality. A few minutes later, Miss Lambert walks in and smiles. Before class starts, an announcement. We discussed the study group idea a few days ago, and Ethan Walker pointed out limitations to that approach, so I went ahead and assigned the groups based on my earlier proposal. But right then I raised my hand. Ms. Lambert, I suggest each student joins no more than 2 study group subjects. That way everyone's study focus is clearer, and the student tutors aren't overwhelmed. Otherwise, 30 or 40 classmates all coming to ask, no one can handle it. Ms. Lambert looks pleased. Sure, let's do it that way. Meanwhile, at the police station, the criminals have been caught. A huge group of parents scammed by the training agency gather, complaining loudly. Why can the second high parents get their money back, but us from Experimental High and Huashi High can't? The police station erupts into chaos. An officer sighs and shouts loudly, "First, your money isn't unrecoverable, we're working on it, but it takes time. Second, because a second high student reported it, we froze the fraud ring's bank cards immediately. But this agency is clever. They split the tuition fees from your different schools into separate accounts. The agency account we froze contains only second high parents' money. As for your accounts, by the time we got the victim list and went to the bank, the money had already been transferred out. So we're not playing favorites, understand? Frankly, none of you from the other schools realized you were being scammed. The other school had someone who caught on, and that's how they saved the money. Do you understand now? And second high parents, don't thank me. If you want to thank someone, thank the student who reported it. If that student hadn't spotted the problem, your money would have been transferred out too." The officer checks the file records and then says, "The reporter's name is Ethan Walker, a high schooler. The victim he registered is Leo Carter, a student from class 4, senior year 3 at second high." Strange. Why is Ethan Walker's school record under first high? The officer gasps. A first high student reported it for a second high student. The parents are dumbfounded. Huh? Several first high parents are stunned. This isn't right. A whole group of first high victim parents fume in anger and immediately decide to march to the school together to demand answers. Half an hour later, over 20 people arrive at the first high gate, cursing as they walk, until they reach the senior year 3 teacher's office. The teachers are terrified. The students also watch curiously. Seeing this, Ms. Quinn rushes up to calm them. "Take it slowly. Who exactly are you looking for? Which class? What report?" Several parents step forward indignantly and ask, "Do you know which class Ethan Walker is in?" He knew the Zhongda exam was a scam, and yet he reported it for a second high student without saying a word to the first high students. The police now say only second high money can be recovered. They said Ethan Walker is a first high student. Who's Ethan Walker's homeroom teacher? Step forward. Hearing this, Ms. Quinn immediately picks up her phone and calls Mr. Sullivan. Soon, Mr. Sullivan returns to the office. Seeing this huge crowd, he freezes too. "Who's looking for me?" The parents immediately rush up and surround him. "You're Ethan Walker's homeroom teacher, right?